Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the Lotro Twitch stream channel. It's been a week or two, it feels like. And I just realized that I want to change the name of that server. We are not on Mary today. We are on Bullroarer, which is a testing server. So let me see if I can put that in there. There we go. How about that? Close enough? So welcome everybody, and yeah, so I thought since Bullroarer is open today, and normally it's not open on Tuesdays, and when they have the test server open, it's usually open like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I thought since it is open today, let's go and do a stream today, checking out some of the fun things they got going on. And specifically, the new Rivendell housing is being previewed here. So I thought we would go and check that out. So so what you do is when you are wanting to go and check out the test server, so they'll run it for a short period of time, and when they're done running it, then they close it and they wipe everything. So any characters that are here will go away at the end of the test server being open, at the end of that window. So I am on right now with, let me remove that, with my character Rosenbloom, who I transferred over from the Mariadoc server. So it's a copy of my character from there. So my original character is still hanging out over on Mary, no problem. This is just a copy of that character. So I can do, whatever I want with her. I can, kick the tires all over this server. So the first thing you want to do, so when you transfer a character over, they're going to exist on the Bullroarer server, basically where they were when you logged out of the previous server that you're bringing them from. It's just like a server transfer. It does the same thing. So when I was on Mary with Rosenbloom, the last place she was right here by the boar statue. So that's where she shows up here on Bullroarer. So I want to get to the Isengard Tavern. And you know what? I know there's one. They're located in two different places. And I just remembered that I should check where's the other one. So the Isengard. There's one in Archet. Okay. How far is Archet from where I am? I mean, I could go over there, but I like this one. Well, here, I'll tell you, we'll just ride over to the one in Archet so you can see where it is. But I like the one at the other place better, but we'll go take a look at it. So there's one also located at Thorin's Hall area. So basically the idea is that if you, Calariel, welcome to the chat, says, was anything changed from last week's Bullroarer? I didn't realize they reopened it, but I've never used Bullroarer before last week. I don't know. I didn't actually check on it last week. I just wanted to go and take a look at the Rivendell housing because I haven't seen it yet in person. And I missed the stream that Scenario did last week, last Wednesday, where he did a preview of the Rivendell housing. So I thought we would take some time and do that today, since, like I said, Bullroarer is not usually open on Tuesdays. But since it is, let's go take a look. Yes, Calariel says that they found the one at Thorns Gate easy to get to. I agree. But the idea is, let's say you don't want to copy a character onto Bullroarer, and you start a brand new character, and you go through the intro, and it's going to dump you here in Archet. So that's also another, I think that's one of the reasons why it's here. But I'll go ahead and show everybody the two different places so you've got options. And I guess it doesn't take that long to ride over here, especially because it's based on the area, this entry area, this Archet here is pretty much like, for people running back and forth. So thankfully it's not that big. And so it's, when you're on a horse or on a pony, it's not so bad. So everybody says hobbits are the best. Just saying. I too am a fan of hobbits. Poor Archet, not looking so good here. But we'll go over to the Isengard Tavern. Clara says the guide on the forums is pretty easy to follow regarding who to talk to at the Isengard. So just so everybody knows, if you are hearing what I'm saying, I am saying Isengard, which sounds like that place that, you know, we're talking about with Saruman and whatnot. But the name of the tavern, let's see, what does that say? Oh, it says Archet Jail. I believe it's right here. No. Right here? Where is it? Oh, there it is the Eyes and Guard Tavern. So it's a nice little play on word. I love this. So you pop in here. Now there's no exit for this one. And it's kind of interesting because it seems to me like it's definitely based on the Forsaken Inn because it's got that open air thing going on. Dronum says, how does this game still exist? Are people still playing this game? What's the current player count? Yes, people are definitely still playing this game. Later on this week is the 19th anniversary festival and 19th anniversary celebration. So everybody who logs in will get their next anniversary gift, which is pretty awesome. And I don't know the player count. That is one of the things that MMOs don't publish. It's a industry thing. They don't publish that information. So I don't know. I'm on a test server right now, which gives you absolutely no indication of how many people, because there are 11 players on here right now. But again, it's just a test server, so that's not really how many people are hanging around here. So if you get into the Isengard, there's a couple things you might want to do. So there's like an introduction here, which can kind of help you through if you haven't been in here before. You can get some test gear from this person for, I believe it said Mordor. Yeah, so there's all sorts of various... So basically you get to the Isengard and you can just get stuff for free that you can then use on this test server to play around with. So I could go and get like, you know, like maybe I'm like, oh, I really wanted to see what, you know, these various things are. It says cosmetic pets, but we've got like, yeah, captains, bannermen, that kind of thing. If you want to level your character up because you want to be testing things at a particular level, you know, you can just buy the advancement there. This person though, this sparkly one over here, Iceman, is really handy because you go ahead and grab a Isengard Tavern map. I'm going to grab one of those. So now I have that in my inventory and then I can use that. And it's you just use it over and over again. There's no, it doesn't consume it. So that's nice. Let's see. But also, if you're like, oh, I want to go and like buy every single house in a neighborhood, that would cost you Mithra coins or the new other tokens, the housing coins, which I don't know. Homesteading coins, yeah, those. Thank you. I don't know who has. That's a go to Sarangos. So I don't want to do that. That's changing your heritage. I wonder if anybody is selling homesteading coins in here. I don't know, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and stock up on a bunch of mithril. So you talk to this person, and you basically can say, hey, give me a, you know, what do you got? So like this quest is to get mithril coins, and so she'll give me 1,000 mithril coins. So we accept that, and then we talk to her again, and she gives me 1,000 mithril coins. So we can just do that a couple of times. Again, this is fake money, basically, because we're just on the test server. All this is going to disappear when they wipe the server at the end of the week. So, you know, it's like we're playing with you know, board game money. So let's see how much mithril we got at the moment. 3,000. Let's get a little bit more. Because I don't know. We don't know how much the houses cost, but, you know, if we decide we want to buy a bunch of houses over there. Okay, let's just start with that. That'll be easy enough. Yeah, that's if we want to change our difficulty thing, which we don't need to do. Walia's Market, awesome. NPC complete. Instance, virtues, reputation. And as Clariel pointed out, there's a guide on the forums that kind of walks you through like who you can talk to in here to get various different things to help you as you're going to do things like, if you want to talk to a vault keeper, you can, access stuff in your vault. Now, again, we're just playing with fake stuff though. So actually there might not even be anything because I didn't transfer shared storage. Let me see.
What can I do?
Yeah, so my shared storage is empty because I did not transfer any of my shared stuff. So there shouldn't be anything in any of these, which is great. Okay, delvings, no. Okay, so for housing, we want to start going down the stairs. Do I need any embers or figments? I don't think so. I think we're good. Let's see, which housing is here? Crafting hall, nope. So we want to go down these stairs. Pretty sure. So every so often they add more doors down the stairs. So that's why I keep pausing. Because I'm like, okay, where are we putting things? Let's see. That'll take you to the 21st hall. Moria barter currency. Hi. Big giant. Let's see. Housing test space. Oh, yeah, we could check that out in a minute. So here we've got all the brokers. That's handy. Erebor, Rohan, Kate Belfast. Is the new person here? There used to just be a door at one point, and that was like basically that would take you to the different housing places. But it was just the two Rivendell folks. So, or not Rivendell. Rohan ones. Black Book of Mordor stuff. Stumpy. Cute. Monster play. Nice. Nice. All right. So a bunch of stuff there. Okay. So I'm going to guess that the person I'm looking for is probably back in that other room. Let's take a look. And if I don't find anybody there, then we'll check on the forums. Skirmish advancement. Let's see, skirmish stuff, legendary items, weapons. Oh, this is cute. Oh, I like how it's like the fellowship hanging out in here. Nice. Yeah, we've got Bill the pony. Let me jump up on the bed so I can see people better. Got Bilbo, Elrond. Very nice. Oh, that's so fun. I'm not sure if I ever walked in this room. Okay, so let's, we don't need to test Durin. All right, nope. Let's go back this way. All right, so, wow, decorations, cool. Okay, so we've got, oh, he's right here, Rivendell Housing Broker. So, what I was talking about before, so Berginda, the Rohan Kingstead, and Cephalflad, Rohan Eastfold. At one point, there was basically this room was like a door to the one and a door to the other, that kind of thing. But now they've adapted it, so all the brokers are here. So that's fascinating. That's very cool. Okay, so let's talk to this Rivendell person because Rivendell housing is new. Hasn't come out yet. It's not out on the servers yet. Hey, Skigos, he says, good evening, Lorette. Good evening. Oh, and Clariel says there's a door to Lalia's and then a painting in Lalia's that I could click on. And Rivendell housing vendor in Lalia's and also right here. So lots of options, at least on the test server. Yeah, this tavern space is so fun. I know, it's so wild, like all the fun stuff you can play around with. Like if there's ever a time when you were like, man, I wish I knew what this looked like in the game. Well, when the Bullroarer server is open, that's a time when you can play around with that sort of thing. Like, you know, man, I wish I could go and do this one instance just to see it, but I don't have the reputation or whatever. You can come in here on the test server, get all the reputation, do it on the test server, but it doesn't qualify for anything on the regular server. So if you're trying to do like a deed or get a housing item or something like that, it won't count for that. Sorry. But at least you would get to see it. So a lot of times what they'll do is they'll open up these test servers because they're trying out some new raid or some new content or something like that. And so they want people to come in and run through it and see if they come across any bugs that they weren't able to pick up through testing. Because when they're testing, you know, in-house, I mean, we're talking like, maybe a dozen people who end up getting their hands on it. So then, you put it out to the players, and then hopefully you get, at least a couple hundred people or a couple thousand people maybe who go in and play with it and touch it and mess around with it and see if they can break anything, so that way you hopefully catch any of that sort of stuff before it goes out to the live servers. So that's what the test server is kind of about. So Bullroarer is open to anybody who plays Lotro. You just have to, it's a separate launcher that you have to download. So you just go in and check out the forum post about it. In fact, let me see. Is there? Yeah, cool. So if you are interested in getting in here and checking this out, there's a link to the forum post where you can learn about, like, there's links there about how to, download the launcher, and then, what to do once you get in here. So, all right, so I want to talk to this guy. I want to see what we got. So we have a quest. They've got a shop which has housing decorations, new stuff, cliff roots, broad cliff roots. Some things we've seen before, like floor paint and wall paint. But we've got Elrond's library platform. We've got some floral tile platform. I think those sound new to me. Dense green hedge. I'm not sure if we've had that one before. Elrond's library floor surface. So it looks like we've got some things that we've seen before and some things that are new. So that's kind of fun. Oh, some elven stairs, curved to the left and to the right, or just straight up the middle. So as Gagosi says, Rivendell housing looks great even for a Hobbit. Excellent. Okay, so we've got a bunch of stuff that we can purchase from this guy for decorations. For barter items, okay, that's how we can get some homesteading coins. If we want to spend mithril, we can get homesteading coins. And we can also purchase a house. So the test server has just got some neighborhoods that are open. Interestingly, most of the houses are purchased. So hopefully, whatever neighborhood we go hang out in, we'll have some houses that are open, so we can check it out. But so if you want to buy a kinship house on the test server, it's possible that you can't, because you can't have a kinship on the server, because the server's only been open for like a day or two, and kinships have to exist for at least 3 months, and you can't transfer a kinship to the test server. So I don't know if it will let me buy it. Sometimes they can disable that. Nope, only kinship leaders can purchase kinship houses. Okay, so there is a thing where you can, if you're on and you want to buy a kinship house, you can post something in the, in the world chat, and if there's a, sometimes, especially if there's a lot of people on, the developers will be on the test server, and then they can override that for you. But I won't worry about that right now. I think we'll just go and maybe go tour. Now, what says quest? Okay, so the quest is similar to another one. Let me go ahead and just accept that. There's, who has it? Well, Erebor has one where it's like basically go visit all these various places in an Erebor homestead. Same thing with Lindleby. They had one that I did with this character already. I think, do these guys have the same thing too? Hello, yes. So that's been a more recent thing since the Rohan premium houses came out, that they have a quest where if you go and visit all these different places, go and see them, you get reputation with that faction, which there's like a neighborhood faction. So in this case, I would get not reputation with a faction, but something called Imladris Visitors, which looks like a choosing box where I can pick something interesting. Well, let's go ahead and go tour a house. So it looks like this neighborhood, this Nandobel, has some houses available. Now, I don't know the layout of the neighborhood yet, so we're going to get there and we're just going to figure it out. So let's just go tour this house. So here we go. Okay, a handsome property ready to be decorated with attention and care. Now, all the houses come like bare bones in the sense that there's no lighting inside, and you can also add like an environment outside to make it, you know, a little different. Looks like we are here in the evening, so that's fine. So if we go in, let's take a look. Now, I could go ahead and purchase this house, and then we could like see where all the housing hooks and stuff are. Let's just take a look real quick. So I'm at 1 Heiberg Road. You know, let's go back out to the, let me go back out to the post at the road. So my understanding is with the Rivendell housing, it's a lot more simple. There are, okay, so this is a deluxe house. So I believe they're all deluxe houses, and then there's 1 kinship house. I think that's how this is working. So, okay, let's go ahead and just buy this one because we went ahead and got a whole bunch of mithril, so we can do that. Okay, so I got some steed halters. That's nice. And then once I get on the property, I can open it up. Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and change the permissions real quick to everyone can visit, play with storage, maintenance, decorate, use decorations. Okay, because this is just a testing thing, so I don't mind everybody being able to come and take a look. So we've got 6 things we can attach to the hitching posts, so that's cool. Interesting. Okay, so they did a lot of like lining things up. That's kind of fun actually, because a lot of time that's what I'm trying to do anyway. And then you can kind of hopefully move things back and forth. So these are huge yard. These are regular yard. There's an enormous yard, huge yard. What we got over here? Looks like similar things. Huge, a huge over there, an enormous over here, a pack of yards there, an enormous there. Awesome. Looks good. Now, where does my property go to? Looks like about back here. And then, is that the town center down there? Sure looks like it, doesn't it? We'll go check that out in a minute. I figure we'll just go ride around the neighborhood in a minute. But, all right, so let's go in the house. So we've got 2 doormats. That's funny. We do have a fence. We've got ambient music, and we've got an ambient environment. And I believe we're getting a new hook here called ceiling. So check that out, ceiling surface. I don't have anything in my inventory that counts for that, so we'll have to go buy something. But we can change the surface and the color, I believe, of the ceiling at this point now. So that's new. That's new for Rivendell housing. And I think they're hoping to backport that, but for right now, that's what we have. Oh, okay. And you know what? I was just looking at my to-do list here. Visit the entrance to the neighborhood. Visit the commons, which I'm guessing is the town center. Visit a simple cottage. So I guess we have simple and deluxe. Visit a grand villa. I'm going to guess that's the kinship houses. Find a good view of the valley and find a view of the Trollshaws. Awesome. All right, yeah, we'll take a look at all that. So, okay, cool. So our housing chest is right there. And then we've got, oh, Scenario pops in, says, backporting features in my copious free time. Hi, Scenario, welcome. Yeah, I'm just kicking the tires here, taking a look at your new spiffy, taking a look at your work, which I missed your stream. We were actually in Greece, so I missed your stream, and I forgot to look at it since we got back the other day. So hopefully I'll go take a look at that tonight, because I missed all of the good information that you posted. Anyway, yeah, so this is, so we're taking a look at a deluxe house. What's this? I see stairs. Let's go downstairs. Ooh, this is fun. Little downstairs area. Oh, this is really cozy. I like this. Yes, I agree. Skagosi, this feels like really cozy for Hobbit stuff. Oh, I like that. And if I don't want to keep that, Like I could steal some of these hooks. You know what this room reminds me a little bit of, like the Kin house over in Rohan in the basement, where they've got like, you know, those 6 rooms kind of all in a row where there's like a room on each side. Maybe it's 8. And there's not a lot going on, you know, there's not a lot of hooks in there, but it really makes it really easy to steal those hooks and use them for other things. Yeah, we're gonna have to go buy some housing decoration because I want to play with those yard hooks and see how much I can move them around the yard. I mean, of course, it might be, you know, different, but once it comes out for reals. But yeah, it'd be fun to see how that is. Wow, I could easily get lost down here. Okay, so this is definitely one of those places where you want to decorate it a little bit different in each room so you can find your way back to the stairs again. But interesting. Oh, and we came down one set of stairs, and I think we go, okay, cool, 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 cool. I wondered about that. All right, so there's 2 sets of stairs. Oh, that's pretty. I like that idea. So you've got stairs over here going down, and then you've got the equivalent over here. I like the symmetry of this. Over here, you get your stairs going down over here. Oh, that's nice. I really like that. All right, and so we've got a lot of wall surface and wall color spaces to play with, it looks like, because I saw one out here. Yes. And then we just saw one over there. And I'm guessing, I think I saw one over here. Yeah. So that's a lot on the main floor already. But you know what? That's why I go and buy 10 of the things I like nowadays. Because then I can make sure I get everything I want on my walls. Okay, so cool. So we've got some lighting and we've got some ceiling. You know what? It doesn't feel that dark in here. I mean, like, lighting will definitely be great. But it doesn't feel anywhere near as dark as the Rohan houses, and I like that. Wow, look at the detail on those. Those are so pretty. I love that. I wonder if that changes color at all. I'm gonna guess no. Although lighting could influence that. That'd be something to play with. To see if like the reflection on that. Because I know in the Rohan house sometimes when I'm putting lighting up, it will make other parts of it, or even in the Lindleby housing, I find that if I change the lighting, it really changes things that don't have lighting effect to them, but it makes them look very different. Look, I've got a shadow. Ew, where's the light source? Like, where's the light coming from? I do really like these walls. That is really pretty. I'm really curious how that looks like when it's changed colors. I'm going to guess Deco has some of that already because I think I saw in the preview. So Deco de Milieu, let me see if I have it. I know, Skagosi says, I'm looking forward to buying one and decorating it. I know, right? I'm like, how many am I buying? Definitely going to get one, for sure, at minimum. What is... I don't think I have it off the top of my head here. Hang on. D&Co. Because Deco de Mio did a preview also and posted some fun things. So let me just plop that into the chat too. So if anybody's curious, they can go take a look because I think Yao, who is the person who runs Deco, the website, I think they did some, let me see, let me scroll through real quick. They did count the number of hooks, which I thought was pretty cool, or posted that information. Maybe they were given that information, didn't have to actually go into the house and count each one. But I thought they had done, I guess it's just internal pictures and external pictures. Maybe they didn't do any decorating in the pictures yet. But if they had access to any of the housing items, that would possibly be there as well. This is a lovely, this is a great floor. I love this, really loving this layout. And you can just come over here. Not sure how I'm going to have parties here, but I'll figure it out. I came up with some really creative ways to have parties in my Belfalas house, so that's worked out. I can be creative here. I love this though. You can look down. You can be like, "Hi." I feel like I'm watching Aragorn at the Pelennor. No, what's the one with the ghosties? The battle that you do, and then the ghosties come in and save you from it. Peligir, not Pelennor. Peligir. There, I'm waving at Aragorn when he comes out for Peligir, but he never sees me. He never sees me. The railings are going to be fixed in the next Bullroarer update. What's wrong with the railings? Was there something wrong with them? Like, can I jump over? Oh, I can jump over. That didn't hurt. I don't know what you mean by fixed. Oh, the texture is upside down. Oh, Scenario says the texture is upside down. Which one? These? They look the same. All right, let's take a look. This is upside down? Really? Well, it's pretty like that. But if you say so. Well, is there one that's right side up? Because now I want to look at the difference. Oh, Scenario says I'm going to be testing out some thinner columns later today. So question, Scenario, since you already have column a decoration that you can buy for the Rohan houses in like the Kinship house, is that something that you will ever be doing for these, is allowing them to be decorated with that same decoration housing item? And I apologize if you answered that previously on your stream on April 1st. It should be dark wood instead of plaster. And let me see, did you get your own thing? No. What would it be called? Rivendell? There we go. We're able to housing, preview, and interviews. Oh, it doesn't have your stream there either. Well, what? Let me see if I can find your stream. There we go. This will be good too because then I can... Oops, sorry. It's a familiar voice. There we go. All right. In case anybody wants to watch the stream that Scenario did almost a week ago, there's the link. Oh, look at that doorway. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I like that. It's very Hobbit sized. I love it. Okay, what a fun room. This is fun. I love how you can run all the way around it. Oh my gosh, you could play a game of tag in here and just run in circles. Ooh, that might be fun. That might be a lot of fun. I have to figure out how to make that work. Is there another upstairs, or have I gone up as I can get? I feel like, can I get up there? What's up there? How do I get up there? What am I missing? I can run on the outside. So this is, you need hobbits to test all the things. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's fun. I like that. How do I get up there? Is that, oh yeah, I can go. Did I miss some stairs? Let's see. I'm not seeing any more stairs, so either I've missed something or I've found it all. So P4 says, I'd love to put forward the idea that premium houses shouldn't have any hooks, and you should be able to put as many decorations up as your computer can handle. Oh my word. You're a programmer. You should know better. Sorry, software engineering. You engineer this software, you know that would just break everything. So do I just like reach it all from here? I mean, maybe. Maybe there's only looking, no touching. Okay. Ceiling, can I reach that from here? Apparently so. Interesting. All right, well, this is cool, and I love the basement. So this is 3 floors, basically 3 levels that we're playing on here. So that is fun. Okay, that is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the inside of this. Okay, so deluxe house, we say yes. Let's see. Yes, the very important Hobbit test, says Kagosi. At least inside, says before, for unlimited hooks. So Scenario says that's a purely decorative space, but I'm sure some creative decoration can get you up there. Oh yeah, you know that's going to happen. I mean, I love how people figured out how to get to that upper space in like the Belfast housing, Belfast, where you kind of go over a little, like there's one area and there's the part where you just kind of walk over to get to another area, and there's like space up there, and people figured out how to make stuff to go up there, and I'm just blown away by people's creativity. I mean, people say I'm creative, and I'm like, maybe somewhat, but yo, there's people who are like really miles beyond me, it feels like. Oh, hey, you know what? Let's take a look at the map. Where am I? Okay, so I'm here. Where's my house? Where was I just? Let's go back in the yard for a minute. Because we haven't even done a neighborhood tour yet. Okay, so my house is, wow, that's my house? It's right there? Dang, yo. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a house over here. We've got a road that leads to that center of town, like I was talking about, which I could just jump down, but I feel like maybe we should like check the roads out. Looks like these are a little spread apart over here. I'm guessing that's the Kinship House over there. So just putting it out there, I think it would be lovely someday to have a neighborhood where instead of it being like large open expanse and then the house, have it reverse that and put it so you have house and then large open expanse. And that way, if we want to go like, you know, have a party and we want to go from people's house to house to house, we could just go house to house to house to house to house to house. So, and then you could have this giant sprawling yard behind you that you could do. I think that would be really fun. So there we go. Just putting that out there. I know you have no shortage of ideas, but I'm just adding that to the pile. Okay, let's see. Oh yes, B4 says that they're unable to stream today, but we'll still pop into chat from time to time. So just an FYI that, yes, I will be streaming today. I'm doing my Heart of a Hobbit, where we're playing with Rivendell. The upcoming Rivendell steadings, the premium housing that is going to be existing in Rivendell coming soon. I haven't heard if there was a date. I didn't catch if there were any spoilers in the stream, but I am guessing it's going to be around the time of the anniversary festival. That's my guess. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Scenario says I was getting picked on for my awful decoration efforts in my stream. Oh, well, I disagree, even though I haven't seen it. I'm sure everything is awesome. So I'll take a look at that in a bit. Hey, Slack Jeff Raiders have arrived. Hello, Slack Jeff Raiders. Welcome. Let's see. So let me catch some really quick. Let's see. Arabani said something. Oh yeah, I was talking about how housing works in EQ2, that there's a limit of maximum stuff, and talking about housing and no hooks, just free placement. And, oh, Skagosi says, hope you had a good time in Greece. We did. We had a lovely time in Greece. Thank you. Slack Jeff says, everything is awesome. Everything is great when you're part of a team. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to the chat. We are taking a look at Rivendell housing over on the test server, because why not? Because, you know, me, I love a good housing tour. So I just was looking at the deluxe house. I guess I could go ahead and turn off decorations so that stops popping up. Went ahead and bought a deluxe house. So we're going to just kind of look around the neighborhood a little bit for a minute. Okay, so I'm at Highburg Road. So if I go this way, okay, so we go up the hill. See, this makes it really hard to do a house-to-house party, you know, or just to pop in on your neighbor. So far. I mean, I know the elves, they like being far apart from each other and they don't want to have people popping in. But if you ever do more housing for hobbits or hobbit style, just something a little bit more cozy together would be nice. Because there's, what is it? Number 3 and number 4 on the main road, as that's on the low side. As you're going like towards the center of town, there's a number 3 and number 4 that are across the street from each other. They work great for Hobbit entertaining. Okay, this is a small but comfortable cottage sitting here overlooking the valley. So let's go ahead and buy this little darling. And we get 4 steed halters this time. Let's take a look at what our hooks look like. I really am enjoying that these are lined up like this, and I'm hoping that I can move things around. But I'm telling you, I like putting out like the those candles that you get that have the like flowers and they have the candle in the middle. They were originally came out with like Midsummer Festival when that came out in 2020 because the Midsummer Festival was the same time as the that PvP server that was only for a month. And so you could get some of those. Bombadil, thank you. During the Bombadil server. And then, so you had all these different colors like greens and blues and purples, and it was really cool. And then you could buy the orange ones from the vendor. So I have a bunch of those, and I love putting those in a row. So I love the idea of just like these are already placed where I want them. So that's fantastic. But here's the question I have is, yeah, like things like this, if I want to scooch, you know, to here and I want to scooch that one over to here, like, is it going to let me? So we'll have to go buy some housing items because I didn't put any in my inventory before I ran myself over here. Okay, so the last house had 2 doormats, one out here and one over there. So that's interesting. Caitlin Garcia says, that's exciting. Yes. I know, right? I'm really excited about new housing. I always get so excited about new housing. Let's see. So Arabani says, I remember back in the days, there was a guy on the server who put hundreds of duck pets in his home. Then he placed highly desirable items to sell from his house. If one goes to someone's house, he doesn't pay the broker fee. And so pretty much everyone who entered his house got his game crashed. That's really funny. Only the most high-end PCs could handle the amount of ducks at that time. That's kind of funny. And the worst thing is people were unable to log onto the characters since they crashed again and had to contact support to move their characters. Oh my gosh. All right, that sounds like a little bit of a nightmare, but it's kind of funny. So yes, I can understand why SSG may have a, no unlimited ducks rule because you don't want to run into that. Okay, so here's the smaller house, I suppose. It wasn't called a simple house. What was this? The standard house. All right, so what we got here? So we've got a little entryway. We've got our wall surface and wall color there, and then we've got wall surface and wall color here. So wait, can I just dye just this entryway differently than the rest of the house? How interesting. All right, so there's our chest. Cool, cool. And then, let's see, we got a room off to the side. That's a pretty sizable room, actually. Oh, that'd be good for a dye room. I like to set up like a whole area with like all the stuff because Rosenblum here is my main, but her sister Adamantia was my main previously on Laurelin, now Mary, and Adamantia is the scholar, so she does all the dyes and everything. So I like setting up a room for Adamantia that has like the scholar's table, which I got the bench that looks like a gardening table. So I have that for her, and then I have lots of different pots of things like the pots of mushrooms and flowers and stuff like that. So I like setting up a room that has all that stuff for her. And this looks like a fantastic room of size and pretty good amount of hooks too. So you could do something like that in here. That's nice. Okay, so this is the main room. This is fun. Okay, nice and circular. Going for that elven thing. I do like that. I didn't notice how circular the other one was. I have to go back and look. Okay, so now we've got a room back here. We've got a little corner. Interesting. Guess you could put like a big vase of flowers there. Oh, I'm curious to see what people are going to do with this space because I'll bet there's going to be some really creative things going to happen here. I see it downstairs. We'll go check that out in a second. Okay, so that's the potential Adamantia room. And then this has got this going on. And then we've got it downstairs. This room has the door frame bug, says Clariel. What's the door frame bug? Well, tell me about that. I do really like these doors, these door frames. These are fun. And they're very Hobbit size. One of the rooms, oh, not the main entrance. Oh, I see. And then before it says, I'd be willing to risk it, just need code that says if you would log in inside a house, log in just outside instead. All right, so here we've got a basement. Oh my gosh, it looks like it goes on a ways too. Oh, we could go hide underneath the stairs. I think I may have to schedule like a hide and seek game when I get a Rivendell house because this would be so much fun to play hide and seek in one of these houses. Okay, so that's fun. Okay. And then what do we have over here? Okay, very similar sized room. Okay, so you've got 2 rooms that you can decorate. Ooh, those would be nice for like little bedrooms or something, wouldn't they? And then you've got hiding out behind the stairs and pretty high ceiling. Like from a Hobbit perspective, the ceiling is like way up here. Yeah, that's a ways. Too big for a Hobbit. This is Arabini. One arch just appears wonky, not a big deal, says Clario. Okay. Um, you were a bit confused that there's so many windows on the ground floor, but none on the second floor. Interesting. Like all these windows here, although they don't look out. Whoa, wouldn't that be an interesting tech? To have like windows that actually show you the outside. Whoa. All right. Not 100% loving that solid wall there for the staircase because I do love the openness of the larger deluxe house. So I think the deluxe house is definitely going to be my goal. But this is nice though if you don't have a lot of mithril and stuff. Oh, that's a cute little corner. I like that little corner. That's fun. You could do some fun stuff with that. Like a little reading nook or something, you know? And then, okay, so, but this is, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, no solid wall here. Like, we can see all the way from one side to the other. That's nice. See, I like that. I like being able to see across like that. That's a little nice. So, yeah, an open stair would be nice, I think. Or, like, take this decorative railing here and make that, like, a railing. Just, I get it that you're going for kind of like probably a symmetry between the two because you got a solid wall here, so a solid wall there. But I've lived in houses that had an open side, so you could just have like a. Of course, I'm a sucker for a good wrought iron look, so I guess that's why I'm thinking more real life and not necessarily what's easy to manage in a MMO if you're wanting to because like if you're trying to decorate this and you've got an open wall there, you might be like, ugh, I wish it was closed, So yeah, you're never gonna make everybody happy. That's how it goes. So, but this is cute. I like the little house. It's so funny. I used to love the large Belfloss house, and after the server transfers and everything, I switched, and I have the small one now, and I just love it. So I feel like that might happen to me with the Elven housing, that I may end up with the large one for now, and then if I ever switch or something, I may end up finding that I like the small one better anyway. But, okay, so we've got gorgeous views out here. What am I looking at? Where am I looking? Oh, we don't know, do we? Well, we kind of do. Okay, so I'm like looking off into the distance. Green Tia says, is it possible to have some sunshine coming through those windows? What light sources are available on the upper floor? It seems a bit dark. So these houses, I can't speak for SSG because I don't work for SSG, but I can tell you what I know. And that is that since Rohan, all of the premium houses come dark, as you may say. They don't come here. Is this my house? Yeah, this is my other house. So they come without any light in there specifically because that gives you the most flexibility for lighting. So here, let me just run on in. Oh, nice. So you have these light hooks here, and you can pick from the vendor a whole slew of different kinds of lighting. All right, so actually, you know what? We should go and buy some lighting just so I can kind of show you what that looks like. So it's funny, though, because the Rohan houses actually feel darker than these, just like natively. So these feel like they have a little bit more ambient light to begin with, which is kind of nice because when you're trying to decorate a dark house, it's kind of hard sometimes, especially, I don't know, maybe it's just me and my eyes or something, but sometimes I find it hard to like be decorating. All right, so somebody has bought this house. This looks like, so is this what the deluxe ones look like? They've got, look, we got an upper bit there and like 2 sides. I'm thinking this is a deluxe one. So just so we know what the differences look like. All right, where am I in town? Okay, interesting. So we can go this way, and that takes us around like a little cul-de-sac almost. And there's another house up this way. I want to get to the town center. So let's quit faffing about and let's find the town center. That's going to be basically the direction I'm kind of going. Because I want to go buy some stuff and then we can do a little decorating just to see what it looks like. So, Oh, yeah. Green Tia says, thanks for the explanation. I haven't bought a premium house yet. Well, you are in for a treat if you decide to do that because I think premium housing is a lot of fun. Now, I feel so I play as a VIP player, so I get like some Lotro points every month, and then I feel like okay, when Mithril coins are on sale, for example, or homesteading coins now, I can use those Lotro points to buy stuff. So I recognize that I'm lost. That's what I recognize. Oh no, yes. Where's the rest of the road? That's not where I want to go. Hang on a second. Not only do I recognize that I'm lost, but I recognize that I have possibly more currency in the game than your average like free-to-play player, for example. Oh, I found a breathtaking view framed by peaks of the Misty Mountains. Let's take a look at that real quick. Ooh, here, let me zoom out a little bit. That's a little better. Here, we can get rid of all that. Oh, gosh, you know what I mean? Every time I do that, when I take away the UI and I just look around and I'm like, gosh, I forget how beautiful this game is sometimes. It's just gorgeous. So good, so pretty. We're going to look down at somebody else's house, but let me look at that for a second. So anyway, what I tried to do is I don't go to movies and I don't go out drinking. So there's a couple places where I can, don't spend money that other people do. So I feel that it's okay for me to make the choice to periodically buy Lotro points when they, like for example, go on sale. And then I can use those Lotro points to buy Mithril coins or that kind of thing when they go on sale. Yeah, I just want to be down there. We're just gonna jump it. Oh, hey, I could have just come from my house over here. All right, well, that's something to keep in mind is proximity to the area. Okay, a joyful activity can be observed as the eyes of Rivendell happily craft something, something. Where'd it go? Happily craft and barter. Cool. So what I would suggest is if you're just getting into the premium housing game, basically, is figure out what you're comfortable with converting, like, because you can convert your Lotro points, you could use them to buy Mithril coins, and you can buy them to buy the homesteading coins, I think. So, that could be worth it to you. It is definitely worth it for me, but that's because I love doing this. But maybe you start small, and there are a number of housing options that are smaller in cost than others. There's like, you can get into a small Belfloss house for very cheap, basically. Sorry, I'm a little distracted by, oh my gosh. Can I use these chairs? Hang on. I'm always delighted by these like center of town places, and I'm always like wanting to do something with them, and occasionally I come up with something. Oh, you can. Oh, that's good. This could be a place to do things too. Like I just had an event, I held a concert recently, in like the Shire neighborhood, and we just like stand around on picnic tables because we're silly like that. Oh my goodness. Okay. Maybe a little off there. That's funny. Okay. Can I get up there? Probably not easily. But that could be interesting. Anyway, so yeah, it's like there's these cute areas that have been created for us, and do we use them in the way we think they would be used? No, we don't. We just do all sorts of other things.
Find your rest in the
Oh, I think it's not the supplier. That's not who I want to talk to. I want to talk to somebody else. Claro says, I have a feeling there won't be a Mithril or home coin sale before Rivendell. I think you're probably right. There was, I feel like one of these was on sale recently, like a month ago. And I have definitely been saving up for a Rivendell house, because I knew it was coming, like you could tell. Like you could, look at the stars and figure it out kind of thing. So, yeah, I had a feeling it's coming. So I've been saving up over on the servers that I'm on. But yeah, we can go backwards over to the Isengard in a moment, and I'll show you some of the least expensive houses. I can kind of give you like an overview of each of the different kinds of housing too, because I think having a premium house is fantastic. I used to buy a normal house because you can buy one regular house like a Shire Homesteads or Bree Land Homesteads or so there's four options. There's one for each of the original races, basically. So there's Shire for the Hobbits, Breland was man style, Falithlorn is elven style, that's an Ered Luin, and then Thorin's Hall has the dwarven style, and that's also an Ered Luin. So those were the four original styles of houses, four original homesteads, and you can buy one of those houses at this point. Now there's been talk about like, can we have more than one? And I know that's something they're working on behind the scenes, but when that will be a possibility, or when kin houses can have more than one kin house, is uncertain. But boy, that's like, wouldn't that be neat? But anyway, so for right now, you can only have one of those original style of houses, and you have to pick a neighborhood and which one you want. That you can buy for in-game coin. So, go off, beat up a bunch of stuff, sell, vendor all that stuff, earn money, do rinse, repeat, and then you'll have enough to buy a house. Those houses cost between like 1 and 2.5 gold for the small, and then between 7 and 8.5 gold for the large, and then the kin houses are like 15. So what I used to do, because kin houses are a decent size, is I used to create a character, make them a kin leader, give them, start a kin. 3 months later, they buy a kin house, and now I have room to put a whole bunch of stuff. Well, I realized that the smallest house in Belfalas has more hooks than a kin house. So it was like any premium house you buy is going to have more decoration hooks than a kin house, than a standard kin house. So it occurred to me then that I might as well just go ahead and just buy premium houses. Now, you don't get a lot of extra storage. The kin house will still give you, I think you can get up to like 90 storage, maybe 120, just using in-game currency. So that is nice to have all that extra storage. And so I do still have like an odd extra kin here and there, just because, that's how things happen. But in general, I just buy premium houses and go on with that. So, okay, so let's see. Clariel says, I bought a bunch of mithril, I feel like it was in December, and a bunch of home coins, but I already spent all my home coins. That's awesome. Green Tail says, I have some mithril coins, save up for a premium house. Is it still possible to convert them to the housing coins? Scenario says, yes, Lalia's Market has mithril coin to housing coin conversion barter. I will point out, though, that you can buy a house for mithril coins. You can choose one or the other. However, when you sell the house, you will get back housing coins, homesteading coins, regardless of what currency you use to purchase the house. So just keep that in mind, that if you purchase a house with mithril, you're not going to get mithril back. You're going to get homesteading coins back if you sell it. So, Incinerian, sorry, says, I need to buy more homesteading coins. I only have 100, but I need more if I want to buy everything I want from Lalia's. Yeah, no kidding. Everything? All right, let's let me see. Let's move this map down. I know my inventory is a little bit mess. Let's go ahead and pick up some things. All right, and so when there's a new thing that started, oh gosh, like maybe a couple years ago now, but there's a thing called a decorative floor covering. And then there is the regular version. So this is decorative Elrond's library platform. And then we probably have, or decorative floral tile platforms. Let me find Elrond's library floor surface. So let me get one of each of those just to show you the difference. But basically, and I do like how the icons are so different now. I think that's new. Is that new? I don't know. But that's striking me as different. That one of them is the floor surface, as if you have, put parquet flooring down. Right? So it covers your whole floor. The other one is of a certain size and it will cover that much of your wherever you set it. So it, in my mind, I feel like it functions a little bit more like a rug, but it's kind of like a 3D rug because you can raise it up a little bit and it has thickness to it. Or you can lower it down and have it flat with the floor. So there's some interesting things you can do with that. So if you're looking for full floor coverage, you probably want the regular one. And if you're looking for something that you can move around and maybe do some creative things with, then you're probably looking for the decorative version of that. All right, let's go ahead and get a dense green hedge because we don't have any hedges and we want to get that going on. What else? Oh, we got to get some ceilings. We got to get some ceiling stuff. Yeah, let's see. Oh, is there any ceiling stuff? Grand stairs. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I'm ready for all this. All right, well, we'll take a look. Oh yeah, we should get a an environment. Oh, a meadow hedge. That looks like fun. Pink rose hedge. Is that new? I have a yellow hedge, so that I'm good. Red shingle roof. What? Floor surface, ceiling surface. Ooh, okay. I think some of these count as, does that count as a ceiling surface? Okay, so the floor surface can also be used as a ceiling surface. So let's get a ruined ring forge, because those could be ceilings, and I really want to check out that ceiling hook. Simple Rivendell wall surface. I'm going to guess that's what the walls already look like. Ooh, but we want to get some colors, right? Remember, we want to get some colors to change the walls. So let's get a couple of colors here. Oh, we were going to get lighting. I need to go to the lighting vendor. This guy doesn't have lighting. I forgot about that. All right. So we're done buying from you. We got to find some more. Who's my lighting vendor? Where are you at? Is it on the map? Let's see. Forge master, oven, housing furniture, maybe. Let's go over there. Is that over here? Yeah. Do you have what I'm looking for? I need light. Yes. Okay. So here we go. We're gonna play with some light. Oh, anything? Let's see. Yeah. Clariel. Oh wait. Okay. Scenario already told me all floor surfaces are also ceiling surfaces. Thank you. I finally figured it out. Scenario is saying I've seen some really awesome creative use of the decorative platforms and walls. I know, right? Clariel says, I think of the decorative floors as small platforms or a dais. Yeah, I forgot about the mithril to coin barter. I may have to hit them up. Let's see. Syrian says, someone in the Decorative Mew Discord used the library dividers and a decorative wall from Yule, the one with the snowy trees, to make a patio with a view, which was super cool. Oh, that sounds fantastic. Okay, so let's talk lighting for a minute. So there's a bunch of different options that you can have. So you'll see we have area light, so that's one kind of lighting, and we can have intense, so like we have intense blue, and then we have like area light soft blue. So you have both kinds of options there. You can have something very intense that is an area, so it's like kind of, I think it's more of a ball, if I recall correctly. And then you can have a softer version. Then we've got, we're going to skip down through the bats and the butterflies for a minute. You can have like a campfire light, so it kind of flickers a little bit. This is great when if you have like a room where you have like a fireplace that you've put in and you want it to kind of have that kind of glow sort of thing going on as if the fire is active even when it's not. So you've got campfire light in orange, red, and yellow. There's also a candlelight, which it has, it definitely is, I feel like it's a lot more consolidated. It doesn't fill as much space. I haven't found a good use for that yet, but I'm sure people do have really good uses for that. And then let's get down to fill lighting. Now fill lighting, I think, is the one that I like the best. I was just double checking here. And I always have notes to myself, but I'm pretty sure it's the fill light that I like the best. Because I think the area light kind of fills a bit of the space, but the fill light, I'm pretty sure is the one that it fills. You know, I think it's in the name, right? And again, you have the intense version, and then you have the soft version. So let's pick up I probably should have dumped some. I could probably dump some. I always feel weird dumping stuff out of my bag, even though I know this is a test server and nothing is real. But it always like freaks me out a little bit to throw stuff away. Okay, so let's get a couple of things just so I can show you what I'm talking about. I think it's yellow and white are the favorites that of mine. So let's get a fill intense and then a fill soft. And then let's go back up and get an area intense yellow and a soft yellow. And then, is there anything else I wanted to get here? The butterflies are super cute. I think we're going to skip those for right now. Let's get some floor paint. Can I use that on ceiling? I can use that on ceiling. Let's give that a try. And anything else we want to play with here? I sometimes get like the smoky thing. The smoke, there's a column of smoke, that kind of thing. Or there's like a smoky fill or falling ash, stuff like that. Sometimes I put that in the area where Adamantch is working as if like there's, stuff going on. Falling waters is hilarious. I should just get one of those to show you guys. If you haven't seen that, that always cracks me up. Field of embers, it's like little embers floating in the sky. So X Lone Leaf says howdy. Howdy to you as well. We're buying some fun stuff to go play with a house. Let's see, the rainbows are good, but we're not going to do that right now. Is there anything else I want to grab? Let's get some violet wall paint. Oh, sure, let's get a floor, unless I did already. It's okay. All right, so we have seen the house over here and house up here. I think those might be the two that I bought, actually. Oh, you know what? Let's just go see. Let's keep working on that little to-do list, though. Now we have a bag full of stuff. Let's go do something else. So I think this may be a way out. Yes. So here we have a stable master. Nice, far-ranging stable master, which will take you to a lot of different places, which would say to me, oh, let's take a look at this. Where does this look out onto? Whoa, that's cool. So I feel like if we keep going down this road, we're going to end up leaving. Let's see. Yeah, we are on our way, which means Rivendell. If we get down a little further down the road, can we see Rivendell to the side? Okay, so we got sparkly entrance here. That means we will leave the area if we go out of this. And I don't know that we can get back in. Although I should have... Okay, I can get back if I need to. So let's figure out what happens. So now we're in the Rivendell Valley. Oh, good. The neighborhood's right behind me. So where am I in the Rivendell Valley? Oh, okay. If you've ever run to Rivendell or done the Bingo Boffin, I'm pretty sure it's this way that you come, the ziggy-zaggy thing that brings you in. The Hunter travel skill, I believe, drops you right there. If you, is that the guest house there? Yeah, so that's where Aragorn and some of the other guys are hanging out. So that's right over there. Oh, across this bridge. Oh, we're on the other side of the bridge. Okay, so now instead of just continuing around the corner and then there's like the skirmish camp over there, now it's the housing is right here. Ew, it's tucked on the side. I like it. Oh, I don't remember where my house is. Oh wait, it should tell me. Yes, there it is. It tells me I have a house here. Yay. I appreciate those little markers. That helps me a lot. That's interesting that the far-ranging stable master feels kind of far away. Is there a house nearby? Because man, I love getting a house where you can just fall down on top of these things. That house might be convenient to fall down. And it's all right. How do I get up there? Let's find out. We haven't been up there yet anyway. There's a whole bunch of the neighborhood we haven't explored yet. So this definitely feels like elven in the kind of like, everybody's kind of got their own space and we're somewhat separated from each other. It definitely has that, spaciousness feel to it. I don't know if that was intended, but it definitely seems to have that. Or maybe I'm just like applying thoughts to it, knowing that this is a Rivendell housing. This is elven housing, elven themed. You know what I mean? All right, so this one's for sale. And what kind of house is this? Is this another? Okay, this is another standard house. We have one of these already. So this is what the standard house looks like from the outside. Scenario points out that mobile hooks kind of need to have some space around them to feel good. Yeah, I could see that. Okay, so remember how we were looking at the other house, the deluxe house? So this is the standard house. So it has like a, we've got our tower here, which it seemed like the other one had that kind of idea too. But this one has like a main section, whereas the deluxe house had kind of like large hips. Reminds me of like Regency or something like that, where they had the big, extra skirt going on. I'm curious though, if you had this house, could you fall down on... Oh, yeah. So if you're like somebody who really wants to get to the far-ranging stable master fast, and you don't want to buy one of them for your yard, because you can buy a far-ranging stable master for your house. But if you don't want to do that, this is the house to get. This is the house you want. All right, let's go and see. It's trying to tell me to go somewhere else. Oh, but you know what? We want to go decorate. Let's go decorate. Hang on. Let me just go to the deluxe house. You know, a nice thing about having a premium house. Okay, so who is it saying haven't had a premium house yet? Green Tia. Okay, so one really cool thing about having a premium house is you have a premium house travel skill, travel skill that you get. So. And your travel skills. So you can find it a whole bunch of different ways, your travel skills. You can find it under your skills, which is Shift K, which is how I just got here. And would be under, is it under travel skills? This is not the character to be doing that search for. Yes. So you get, like when you buy a regular house, one of those 4 that I was talking about before, you get the travel to personal house skill. And that has a cooldown of 1 hour by default. You can buy cooldowns that'll bring that down to as low as 5 minutes, but by default, that's a 1 hour travel skill. Same thing for if you're in a kinship and they have a kinship house, you get this travel to kinship house travel skill. Again, by default, it has a cooldown of 1 hour. You can, through purchasing, there's 3 different cooldown skills you can purchase. If you have all 3 of them, all of those skills are knocked down to 5 minutes. One does 30 minutes less, one does 25 minutes less, and you mix and match, and eventually you've covered all the bases, and you end up with, reducing it down to 5 minutes. If you have a kinship and your kinship has a house, you also get this travel to kinship members house skill, which is really handy as well. Sorry. But travel to premium house, when you buy a premium house, you get this skill. And it has, by default, a 1 minute cooldown. Fantastic for getting around. If you're going from like one place to another, for example, early on, or I say early on, okay, when you're around level 40, 50, there's a series of quests for the epic book. I'm pretty sure it's book 1, where you basically have to travel back and forth between Elrond and like the Rangers, and you're going up to a place with a scary ceiling, not ceiling, but sky. Angmar. You're going back and forth to Angmar and so forth. And so being able to port back and forth. If you don't have a hunter as a friend to travel you to all these places, then having other abilities to travel is super handy. And so, yes, as Green Tia points out, waiting 1 hour to travel to my house practices my patience. This is where I would recommend you keep an eye out for those travel skills when they do come on sale. Every time they come on sale, grab one. It is unfortunately character specific, so get them for your main character. Absolutely worth it though. They by default cost like, I think 300 or 400, maybe 450. Lotro points, but when they go on sale, they're down to like 300, 250. I forget exactly what, but you'll definitely want to keep an eye. It's like Hurried Traveler. They have names like that. If you go to the Lotro wiki, there's I went ahead and did some updates on that a couple years ago now because I could never remember the three names of them, and so each one of them talks, references, links to the other two, so you can see what all three of them are. Definitely worth getting it. That and when it goes on sale, definitely get those. And then Journeyman Writing is another one. Get the one that is account wide. That is so worth getting. Again, wait till it goes on sale. But man, when it does, snag it. Or when they have like the 30% off coupons, perfect time to get it. Because Journeyman Writing, it gives every single one of your characters the writing skill, and you get the faster writing. So every time you get a new character, you create a new character, they have writing skill as soon as they've got that novice token done. Oh my gosh, one of the best purchases I ever made. So that and the wallet, but now we all have wallet. But Premium Wallet was absolutely another great one. So anyway, yes, so travel to Premium House has by default a 1-minute cooldown. Worth it just for that alone, really. Yeah. So let's see. Yes, Ainsley also confirms Journeyman Writing is so much nicer than War Steeds. I love Journeyman Writing. I use it all the time. Yeah, quality of life goes up tenfold, says Reader Geek 13. Absolutely. Okay, what else did we buy? We bought a lot of inside stuff, didn't we? Although I am super curious about these stairs, but I think I want to try them inside. Oh, we had some ambient environments. Hang on. Didn't we? Yeah, we got this one. So that will change the way the sky looks. Okay, sorry. I want to go inside. Let's go find out some stuff in here. So I want to put in some lighting. So let's take a look at the differences between some of these lightings. So our lighting hooks that we have right now, it looks like we have 3 right here. So actually we have 3 right in a row right here. That might be easier to see what's going on. So I'm going to let's do a fill light with intense yellow. Look at that. My whole world just turned yellow. I just put on sunglasses or yellow filter glasses. But you can see what I'm talking about with fill light. See how it is touching almost every corner of everything here, right? It is and it's also very intense. It does what it says on the tin. Now let's look at a fill light that's a soft yellow. Notice it has, again, it's covered all of my space. It made my walls look yellow. All of that, but it's a much softer look. And so I should have gotten some white. This might be a situation where white might be even better, because white and the yellow are my 2 favorites for this kind of a situation. Okay, so let's take a look at the area light. Did it do it? It did it, but it's not, yeah, it's probably not catching it. Anyway, notice how it's kind of like got a border. It's like a ball, basically. So it's not reaching those other areas. So this is where, like, if you're like, oh, you know what, I want a different color over here, that's where you could be like, oh, okay, you know what, because I've got, notice how, and you can see it even on the floor, but I've got my intense lighting over here, and then I've got my soft lighting over there. So you can see the difference between them. And these are the area lights. And so it's just catching like a little section of it. It's not flooding the whole room. So this is, so having the area light, again, can be really nice for if you just want to light a certain part of the room a certain way, but you want to do a different part of the room in a different way. So Green TS says, thanks for the tips. Having a premium house will make it so much easier to travel around the world too. Absolutely. And if you don't know about them already, get a stable. Oh, it's in the Lotro store, isn't it? Wonder if I can pull up the Lotro store on Bullroarer. Let me see. What's it called? I don't know what it's called off the top of my head. But basically, you can buy a thing for your house that... that is a far-ranging stable master. Let's see, stable. Aha, here we go. Okay, so see, so you have a variety of options. So we have a Breland Stable Masters stand, the Dwarf Maid Stable Master stand, the Elven Stable Master stand, the Gondorian, and then I thought there was, oh yeah, there's the Rohirric one. It's just a big post. Here's the Shire one. I like that one. I have that one. I'm guessing this Umbari Stable Masters Pavilion is also a Stable Master stand. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so let's see. We're playing with fake money here, right? So I could go ahead. Let me get a couple of these and show you what they look like. I'll go ahead and grab this pavilion while we're at it too. It's thinking about it. All right. Let's see. Clariel says, I wonder if people would be upset if they removed all the stairs in these new houses and forced players to buy whatever stairs they want instead to reach the other floors. Snaro says, that's my future pie in the sky idea of the open floor plan housing. Ooh. I mean, having some things in place are nice, but yeah, that's an interesting thought. You know what? I don't think I bought the campfire, but we can go back and do that. Because Acer was asking, can we see the campfire light? I've never seen that one before. We'll go back and do that in a minute. Let me try, I want to try a ceiling. All right, so, oh, that's the wrong thing. That's not what I'm looking for. I want to look for ceiling covering, ceiling surface. Not you. Not ceiling, but ceiling. There we go. Okay, so we can do a red shingle roof on the inside. It just looks wrong. We have shingles in the Netherlands that look like that, but on the outside. So it looks like somebody's wearing their clothes inside out. Okay, it didn't like me doing that, so let's try again. Nope. Something has gone wrong. Let's try again. There we go. Let's take that out. And we'll try, this is, what did I put in here? Ruined Ring Forge. Cool. All right, let's put a different one in somewhere else. Yeah, that's fine. Stay there. Let's have another ceiling surface. Let's do this one because we can get a nice big look. Oh, that kind of went to floor. There we go. Well, let's try the Ruined Aragian dais floor. Interesting. Oh, that looks kind of cool though. And then, okay, so we could do color as well. So I'm really curious about how that looks with color. Oh, I can use floor color. Right. So dark green, it's too dark. Dark purple, nope, that's too dark. Okay. We're gonna get rid of the color. That was too dark. Can't see anything. What about this? I'm curious about this one because this one seems like it wouldn't have a lot of, surface area that it's covering. Okay. Oh, you know what? That looks kind of cool. Okay. You kind of sold me on that one. And then what happens if I color it purple? It looks weird, but maybe. It's all shiny. Let's try if I color it green. Yeah, I mean, I like how you can, how it's shiny off there, but the rest of it, it's so dark, it's almost like it's not even there. So I don't think it's worth putting a dark color there. Maybe a light color might be more fun. I don't think the dark color works for me. Okay. I did want to, let's go upstairs for a minute. Oh, Green Tia says I have some flowers behind me. What are they? It's actually a board that I put up behind me to hide all the clutter in the house. I thought about getting a green screen, and but I had this laying around, and I'm like, I'll just use this, and I've been happy with it. So, but it looks pretty, and it's springtime, so it fits the theme. Okay, so let's get some curved stairs going on here. Oh my word. They're massive. I'm inside the stairs. Maybe these are supposed to go outside. Okay, now I've broken it. Hang on. I gotta go around because I think I just blocked my entryway. But hey, we were talking about trying to figure out how to get up. Oh, I just fell through the stairs. I may have broken it a little bit. So what if we do like that? And then I go back in the other room. Pro streamer. Yes, these are my pro tips. Use something you have from around the house. Let's see if I move it. Let's see. I don't want to move it that way. I want to move it that way. What? What doesn't it like about that? I think it's just because it's on the test server. Whoa! No! Hang on, let's get out of decoration mode for a minute. It's still not happy about it, is it? All right, let's go back in decoration mode and see if I can fix it. All right, nope. Okay, so yes, that's fine. And then I want to go out there. Okay, can I go up the stairs now? Scenario, I figured it out. Sort of. All right, and then can I get another? No, anyway, I was gonna be like, can I get another set of stairs going the other way? And then I can keep going and I can go all the way up to the ceiling. But yes, now we have random elven stairs in the middle of my house because why not? Okay, so if somebody said something about, does it mean you could put a carpet surface on the ceiling? I think so. Let me go back up to a ceiling I haven't decorated yet. Okay, so up here, oh, or in the basement. Maybe we should go to the basement. I'll take it. Let's go with the basement. So I don't think I touched the basement yet. Okay, so let's do, where's the ceiling down here? There it is. All right, so ceiling surface, wait. Oh yeah. We have Elrond's library floor surface, like that. Now, if you're talking about just a plain old rug, like you could do, oh, you're talking about carpet surface. I think the answer is yes. Funny thing though, is I discovered that like, if you put a rug down and then you like elevate it, it becomes invisible from underneath, but from above you still see the rug. So I did that in a Rohan kin house because you've got like this big open area where the tables are for the fire pit. I did tables for the fire pit. And so then above that, you've got this big open space and you're looking down on it. So I was like, hey, this looks like a fun parkour course. That's what I saw. And so I took carpets and I floated them up. So when you're standing on that upstairs area, so kind of like, here, let me go back upstairs. Kind of like the upstairs that you have here where you've got that area that you can look down from where I've just blocked part of it with the stairs. So like from up here, how you're looking down, what I did is I floated carpets up so they're almost the same height as where we are now. And then you could jump out onto the carpet. And so you're standing, in midair, what looks like midair out here, but you are actually standing on a carpet, which is kind of funny. Oh, I was going to show you guys the waterfall. And then I just did them like kind of in a row. And then I made a harder parkour surface, which was I used like there's the shelves of cups and saucers for in the Rohan area that you can buy. They're very Rohirric, and so I got some of that and I placed those out there, and those were much harder to jump on. So let's see, we could do some falling water. There you go, pipes burst. Actually, I love doing that and then putting like a little pond underneath it. I just think that's funny. Although it does remind me of a shower. So, you could get creative and create a shower, basically, with that. Let's go put... Oh, I have floor color. We can put some floor coloring down. Because why not? So put down some green. Ooh, that looks kind of pretty. What's the purple look like? Oh, dude, that green, that like pops. Love it. That looks really good. So fascinating how it's like not covering the whole place. I guess I'm used to the Belfast houses where it's just like you put it in one spot and it covers like everything. So are the floors upstairs the same? Yes. Okay, and probably the same downstairs then. So I could put the purple in here, although it's not really that obvious. Like, boom. Oh no, it's good. I made it darker. That's fine. So there's the green, and then there's the purple. It's like decorating the outfits, you know what I mean? That's what it reminds me of, like the cosmetic outfits, where it's doing like some of the accents pieces. That's nice though. I kind of like that. Oh yeah, let's go put a hedge outside. Why not? And then we're going to put some of these other things down out in the yard because they're huge. Yeah. Yeah. Instagram says, that's hilarious. You turned your tunes into Aladdin. I did. Tita Grow! Hello. How are you? All right. We're going to look at what's a dark green. What did that say? Dense green hedge. So this is the. Yeah, let me get up on a mount where we can see a little bit better. So this is the dense green hedge. Boy, they're not kidding. Can't go through that at all. I can go over it though. Okay, that's good. Let's see what else we got. We could do, which one's this? The meadow hedge. Okay. So that's a little gentler, but you still can't get through it. Have to jump over it. Yeah, you can jump on it. That's fun. All right, and then lastly, we have pink rose hedge. Ooh, that's lovely. My pony did not want to jump on top of that. There we go. I'm not fence running, I'm hedge running. Totally different. That's really pretty. I like that one. All right, and then we got these stairs and things. I feel like we should do something with them. Oh, we were going to check how far I can play around out here because I'm just looking at this like large area here, right? So how far can I put stuff out here? Let's find out. So let's do some curved stairs. And okay, cool. I can do some pretty good distance. I'm still in my yard. I haven't left my yard. What's this? This is Elven Steps. Curved stairs, curved stairs. Oh, I think I just got stairs. Mostly. Okay. All right. So that's just, okay. It's open on the back though. But we're just going to make like a structure of stairs, I think. That's good enough for now. And then let's do some curved stairs. Oh no, this one's a straight one. Okay. Oh, I got an idea. What if I do Elrond's thing? Okay, so this is Elrond's library platform, but it's the decorative version. So like if I were to, so see what I mean? How it's kind of like, it's almost like a giant rug, but not exactly. But it's like kind of this what it makes me think of. So if I scooch this little thing over here, and then maybe a little higher, let me go up some stairs. Yeah, maybe a little lower. Okay, let's try that. So then I'm like going from here to that. Okay, and then do I have something on that one yet? I don't. Let's put some more stairs here. Oh, they're tall. I wasn't expecting that business. That's fine, you can just be there. And then let's do some more stairs. I bet these are tall too then, aren't they? I think these are the tall ones that I was buying. Yeah, so we'll just scooch them next to each other maybe. Scoochy, scoochy. Yeah, that'll work. And then we need to be able to get from them to the other one, don't we? Have I got one there? I've already got one there. What about that one? You know, I would love it if there was like some visual indicator that let us know when a housing hook was open or in use. That would just be so amazing. Because there's times when I'm like, I know I've got another hook here and I just cannot figure out which one it is. And so I spend all my time clicking, click, 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 click until I figure it out. And it feels like there's got to be a better way. All right, so there we go. I have placed a bunch of stairs and things. This feels like all elven architecture, right? Maybe not. Oh, I could use those Elrond stairs up there. That's what I'll do. Oh, sorry, elven stairs. Let me go back into decoration mode. Let me float those up. Turn it around. Scoot them over. Nope. Nope. Where'd you go? Over there. Bring them over here. A little bit over here. Yeah, let's give that a try. Okay. Oh, and then we're going to go get some of that campfire look, right? There we go. And we can just walk up the elven stairs. You know, if I was keeping this like for reals, I'd probably maybe tidy it up a little bit. Like we could tidy it up a little bit. Maybe bring that over here. Turn it a little bit. Clara says, I'm so hyped for the retaining walls and bridges. Oops, went the wrong way. And the mahogany furniture. I'm really looking forward to seeing all the cool stuff that we get and seeing all the different ways that people like find ways to use it. That's going to be cool. Why is this so bright? There we go. Maybe I just had to move. I don't know. All right. Well, oh, because I was still in decoration mode. So there we go. We've played around a little bit with some stuff. All right, let's go back to the center of town, which if I recall correctly is off the side of my ledge. Oh, we forgot to put out, hang on. Oh, where did it go? Dragon fireworks. Where did I get that? No. Oh, I didn't put those out either. No, where did I put the... Oh, no. Didn't we buy the stable master thingies? Where did they go? Oh. Ha. Right. I forgot about this. So when you buy it, you can choose between like a female-looking character or a male-looking character. All right, we'll take the female one. Sure, why not? And then for the Umbari Stable Master, same thing. So, okay, we've got those two. Now we put them out, and they are like human being type peoples out there. So we'll put that one, and then we'll put that one. So these are housing items. But when you click on them, so if you've seen a supplier, sometimes you'll see that in somebody's yard is a supplier. Hi, Casper. We had house sitters and cat sitters while we were gone, and they were great with the cats. They sent lots of pictures and kept us up to date on the happenings. But I think the cats are so glad to have us home. I did pick up a few things while I was in Greece. I have more stuff to talk about than I have really time, and it's not really Lotra related, but we saw so much in Greece. We were very busy. Anyway, okay, so I went ahead and bought 2 of these different stable things. And so it's like the supplier where you click on it and it calls out a person. So you don't move while that indicator is going through. So now you have a far-ranging stable master here in your own yard. And so they'll send you to any of those places that you have unlocked. And so I can do the same thing. The Umbari one should have also the same thing. There she is. So again, same thing. So regardless of who I talk to, it's going to be that same list because they are a far-ranging stable master. So you've got, like, I haven't been to this place, so I don't have that unlocked. But like Minas Tirith, Midsummer, I do. Cape of Belfast homesteads I can get to. So all of the homesteads you can get to from here. So you can do like Cape of Belfast, Breeland, the two. Why is Eastfold Hills not open for me? How that funny that is. Maybe I don't. Never had a house there with this character. I suppose that's possible. Anyway, Falthorn, Thorns Hall, Shire, and Breeland. Those are the 4 originals. And then Belfalas. Where's Lindleby? That's interesting. Well, anyway, I guess you get a bonus for the Cape of Belfast and the Rohan ones. But you got like Galtrav, which is, you know, a fantastic hub. You got some places in the Eastfold. So you've got like a smattering of places throughout Middle Earth that you can use your stable master to get to. So that these 2 are really handy, and they hang around for like 5 minutes and then they disappear. But you can call them back out because they have a 5-minute cooldown, but they last for 5 minutes. So you could, you know, if you run out of time, you can just call them back out again. It's no problem. So you can get one of those for your house and not have to worry about going to the far-ranging stable master in your neighborhood if it is too far away and you don't want to deal with that. But I want to go buy the stuff. Wait, where's... Oh, I'm at the wrong side apparently. Over that way. Okay. Because I want to go buy campfire for somebody, right? So let's take a look at that. Nope, not you. Housing furnisher. I think it's you.
How may I be of service to you?
Okay, cool. So campfire, orange, red, yellow. Yep, okay, cool. All right, and so you know what? I'm just going to pop back up to my house because I can. Easy peasy. Ta-da! Okay. Yeah, we could run up some stairs and then run down some stairs just for funsies. Okay, so we wanted to look at the campfire lights. So let's go in here because this room is kind of dark, right? And let's do, or we could do it downstairs, I suppose, because then we could see them all one right after the other because those rooms are a little closer together. And yeah, it's lighting, yeah. So this would be, here's the orange one. And see how it kind of flickers a little bit? You see that? And then let's come over and let's go to this room. We'll do the red one. Yeah, that red one's intense. I like the orange one. I think the orange one's my favorite. But there you can see looking at the ceiling, you can kind of see the intensity and how it kind of flickers back and forth a little bit. And then let's do another one. We'll just do this one. We'll do the yellow one. So let's see. If I'm standing about here, I think. So we've got the red one in there. We've got the yellow one out here. And I thought we had the orange one. Yeah, the orange one's over here. But notice that it seems to not be a fill light. It seems to be kind of more the area light. It's got kind of I mean, it's not as obvious, but it's got kind of a roundness to it. Like it doesn't get into the corners. So it definitely has an area that it works in, right? That it covers. I mean, on purpose. Like that's, working as intended. So yeah, so if I stand probably about here-ish, you can almost see. So we've got the yellow down here at the bottom. We've got the orange over there in that room. And then we've got the red over here in this room. So you can kind of get the idea. Now, one of the things I like to do is, and here I'll come do it in this one, I think, is let's say I've got the fireplace over on that side. So you can move these. They have sliders. So I can like move it. Do you see how like the intensity of it changes just based on where it's located. So if I have a fireplace over on that side of the room, like I can do like the light there like that, and then it looks like it's coming from the fireplace. So I find that kind of a fun thing to play around with. I like that the lights move, that you can move them, that they're movable. I feel like we have some wall colors. I wanted to see how that impacted this wall stuff. Oh, wow. Almost looks like a burgundy, even though it's violet. Looks burgundy to me. What about sienna? Huh. I mean, it also could be the fact that we're playing with orange lighting in this room, too. Oh, and violet again. Huh. That looks really pretty. It has like a 19 or like an 1890s kind of, Art Deco look to it. What if I do it in here? Let me try a room that's not lit up. Let's try it in here. Yeah, it's kind of dark for it. That's nicer. This is why I often when I get a new house is I'll just go and buy a ton of yellow light, the not intense, the soft yellow fill light and soft white fill light. I figure I can come back later and change it if I want to, but I figure just giving me something to, get some lighting in each of the rooms is really just important to kind of get me into the headspace where I'm able to decorate and, get a lot done. And you can see how the soft light there, let me put that down for a second. So notice how we've got the soft light in here right now. And it's like, okay, I can see what I'm doing in the space. I can kind of get an idea of what it would look like. It is yellow, so it's going to give it a little bit of a tint, but it gives me some good ideas. But if I go for that intense yellow, the room is yellow. Everything I'm doing in here, it's gonna have a yellow. Now, I mean, it makes those flowers really pop, so maybe that's worth it. But just, it's something to keep in mind that the intensity of the lighting is going to possibly impact the way you're seeing things. Oh, I also got these vines. They're furniture, wall, yard, and mobile yard. Sure. Let's try it. Here, what does that look like? Whoa! What? That's the broad cliff roots. Not what I was expecting. Wow. Okay. Well, let's try the other ones then. I'll put it in the wall. This is the cliff roots. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's different and unexpected. Wow. That's wild. Are the roots solid once you place them? Asks before. I am going to say yes. It looks like I can't climb on them, but I can't go through them. Yeah, I can't get under it. It looks like it's solid. Like it's got a dome or a box about it. But it's a sloped one. I can't climb on it. I can't get under here. Nope. Yeah, look, there's a wall there. It pushed me to the side. I bet if I put them down lower, I might be able to... Oh, I went through the edge of that one. Okay, so the edge there. So if I... Let's bring these down a little bit. Nope, not up, down. Let's try like that. Can I jump on top? Okay, I can get on top of the box if it's down low enough. But yeah, you can see the boxes there. Yeah, more importantly, you can get on top of them if you bring them down low enough. Now, what about these? These you can get underneath. Interesting. And these look as though I may be passing through them a bit. Let me try bringing them down and see if they're more solid. Oops, not that far. Maybe that far. Nope, they are not solid in the slightest. The big ones. Go right through them. The broad cliff roots. But that's interesting because then I can have them anywhere. Oops, I meant to leave that on. Put it back at normal height. So this means this one does not impede me moving around and stuff like that, but the other ones do. So this could be, you know, anywhere and it's fine. These other ones could block a staircase. Oops. That's funny. Fascinating. All right, so I've got 2 hedges that I'm done playing with. So I'm going to throw these in the chest. Now, what I was talking about earlier about house storage. So, funny thing, and this will be new to you, Green Tia, I believe, right? Because you're kind of newer to housing. When you have a house, like say you have a house in Bree, or you have a house in the Shire, because like I do, I have a house in the Shire. If I go to my housing chest, it just has this standard housing, and it can hold, where does it say my storage capacity? I don't know. You can, and then you can increase it. Oh, it's because I don't have a standard house. But you can increase it using regular in-game gold up to like 90 or 120 spaces. So you've got that as a thing. Hello. Oh, nice. I have a neighbor. But in the house itself, the house has its own housing chest, and that's this bottom one, open house storage. So this is specific to just this house. But interestingly, it shares the names of the tabs with a standard house. Aw, thank you. Person said they love my name. Okay, so I was going to take us back to the Isengard because I was going to show you some of those other houses, housing neighborhoods. So let me go and do that real quick. So this is where I'm going to use that Isengard travel skill that I picked. Oh, you know what I should do? Okay. I should take us by Thorin so I can show you. So I'm going to take the guide to Thorin's Hall actually instead. And I'll show you guys how to get to the Isengard from there, because we did it in our chat earlier, but we didn't do at Thorin's yet. So let me show you where that is real quick, just in case you ever are trying to find it. I find this one easier to find anyway. So I just used my hunter travel, and it brought me to the top of the stairs here towards, you know, Thorin's Hall and everything. But I want to go down the hill towards where the stable master is, that area. Excuse me. So let me pop over there. So I'm just riding across the snow. Excuse me. Okay, so you've got your stable masters and Wenda all over there. So if I turn right here, here's the Isengard. It's really super simple to get to. I tend to come to here rather than going to the other one. Okay, so we're back in here where we were doing all these other things. So we're going to go down the stairs again. And then I'm going to go... Oh, I want to go into that one too. But first let's take a look here. Okay, so these are all the different housing brokers. So let me show you, there's 2 different things here. So you've got these housing brokers, and that's like the one we were interacting with before. It can... If I go to purchase a house, it'll show me all the neighborhoods that have available houses in them. So like if I look at Alderway here, it shows me that there's 9 deluxe houses, 1 deluxe mead hall, and 1 deluxe house that's the cave. That's a special thing. And then if I click on the neighborhood, it opens that up for me, and it shows me the mithril cost to purchase in each one of these houses. And if I click on the house itself, it'll give me some more information over here. So it tells me the address, it tells me the neighborhood, Alder Way, Rohan, Kingstead, Homesteads. It tells me it's a deluxe house. It tells me the cost is 445 mithril or 89 homesteading coins. So again, back to that thing where you can purchase it with one currency or the other. You can choose. Can't mix and match. I can't give like half mithril and half homestead. No, you got to pay all mithril or all homestead. But you've got, at least you've got an option there. So if you are like, I have a bunch of mithril coins, I'll just buy it with that, totally good. And then it tells you there's an upkeep cost, and I believe that's weekly. However, if you are a VIP or if you have a kin house, the kin leader, upkeep is waived for VIP house owners and leaders. So if you are VIP, your upkeep for premium housing is waived. You still have to pay upkeep on your regular housing. Okay. And then it gives you a little bit of information like the house offers 142 decoration hooks and 11 lighting hooks across 2 interiors and 32 exterior hooks with access to shared housing storage. So then if you're like, cool, I want to go look at that house, you can click on Tour House and it drops you at the front gate basically of that house. If you're like, no, I'm buying it right now, you can click on that one to buy the homesteading, use the homesteading coins, or click on this one to buy it with mithril coins. So you've got some options there. Okay, so when housing first opened, again, we were talking about like the standard housing before premium housing existed. You had Shire, which is this guy over here. You've got Breland, that's Nan Henwood. You've got Falaflorn, that's the elven housing over here with Barshrill. I rarely interact with her. And you've got, where's, oh, Thorin's Hall, he's right here. He's right next to me, laughing it up. So, and then Rooney right there. So those were the 4 original housing that you could choose from. So if I was to go to Andy, for example, and I'm like, cool, Adernotch sounds great. I want to buy a house. This is where, as I was talking about, you can buy them for in-game money. So like 1 chalk road costs me 1 gold and 100 silver. So it's pretty cheap. 1 Harrow road is only 1 gold. So they start at like 1 gold. Well, I guess Myrtle Court is like 950 silver. So they start at around 1 gold and go up to like 1.5 for the basic housing there. Now, if for the standard housing, and then if you want to get a deluxe house, those start at 7, and I believe they go to 8.5. I think some of these houses may have been purchased. Yeah, there's an 8.5 one there, 5 Brookbank Street. And then you've got the kin houses, and those are going to cost you like 15 to 18. But you don't need to worry about that unless you're a kin leader. So, so let me just go buy a house. Let's just, let me tour it. Sure. Okay, so I'm going to buy this little house up the road, and I'll just go ahead and buy it. Boom, I'm done. I have purchased this house, and so I go into my little house. It's a cute little house. And if I want to look at the storage chest, now it's going to tell me that I have 30 spaces here. For 9 in-game gold, I can purchase another 15 slots. And then I can do it again for 27. And okay, so now I'm at 60, and then I can use mithril. Okay, so that's what happens as it gets to the mithril. I couldn't remember. It's been a while. I mean, and the nice thing though is once you've done this, you don't have to do this again. Like, there is a max you get to. Really? Well, this is much further than I thought. I don't think I've gone above like 120 because I rarely spend mithril coins on my housing storage. So, okay, so I could get my personal house storage up to 195. So I could put a bunch of stuff in there. So let's say I'm like, I want to rename this. And so I'm going to rename it from chest 1, and I'm going to call it outdoor decorations. Why not? Okay. And let's see, do I have anything? I don't think I have any other housing stuff on me. Okay, so now what was I going to do? Let me go back to my premium house for a second, and I'll show you what I'm talking. What I wanted to show you. Rivendell Homesteads. I feel like I should take a screenshot of that to be like, see, I had a Rivendell Homesteads house. Oh, I'm excited for these to come out. They're very pretty, and I'm very much looking forward to. Oh, you didn't get to see my travel emote. I have a travel emote. It's okay. Looking forward to seeing these now in the game. It's gonna be good. Oh, it just occurred to me I don't have my fast feed on. Okay, so we were just mucking about with the storage over at my regular house. So now if I come here and I'm looking at my storage chest here, I can open the shared housing storage that I was just looking at in that other house. And notice this says like outdoor decorations. So I am accessing that storage chest from here. So that's kind of a handy little trick. And then this house has its own storage, which can only be 25. There is no way to increase that. That is the best you can get. But you have all those hooks. So hopefully you're able to offload a bunch of your storage by placing things on hooks, right? Now notice though, when I change that tab to say outdoor decorations, now my housing storage for this house says that. So I don't know why, but for some reason, the tabs across all of your chests are shared. And so a lot of times I'll find myself doing something like Rivendell small house. And then anything I'm storing in there will be here. I'll put it into that particular tab. Or maybe I'll have it be like Halloween decorations. And so, and maybe I'm like, oh, and then I can't remember which of these chests has it. And so I might be like Halloween deco, and that's at Rivendell. Now you have you can't type forever. There is yeah, so that's like the maximum characters I can have. So Halloween deco is at Riven Large. So that's to remind me, oh, if I'm looking for that stuff, that's where I'll find it. So like I might change this to, instead of saying main chest, this might say hedges. And this is at my Rivendell large, I think. Yeah, I can put a space in there. I got room. So now if I go back to my shared housing storage back, the regular one, these tabs are now, I've changed them. So it's shared across all of them, which, whatever. You just kind of figure out ways to make it work. It's just funny. But so this house storage now, I've got like my hedges are here. And then if I get other things, I can, plop them in there. It's just a funny way to play around with things. What else did I want to show you? Oh, I wanted to show you the cheapest housing you can get. Let's go back to the Isengard. And just a reminder that B4 is not streaming tonight. That's what being on vacation for a week will do you. It'll mess up your ability to do other things. But we got to see family for a week. It was fantastic. Okay. Yeah, so let's go back down the stairs again. And over to here. Oh, yeah, I want to go in that room. Okay, so again, just kind of a reminder. So these were the original 4 homesteads right there. And I love at the Isengard how they're all in a corner like this. I don't think they're like this in Bree. I think they are scattered about. Yo, I don't know if Scenario, if you're still listening, but I would love, love, love to see the broker's office in Bree get a little bit redesigned and maybe like make separate rooms for some of these folks. That would be amazing. Spread them out a little bit. It's a little tough. Oh, so anyway, there's a wish list item I'm just throwing out there. One thing that has come up, and I'll point this out real quick, that remember when I said something about like looking at her houses and it was showing me, I said something like, these are the houses, these are the neighborhoods that have houses available for sale. But this is not the comprehensive list of all the neighborhoods that exist on that server, because you might have a neighborhood that sells out. And so it won't show up on her list because she's the broker. She's just showing you things that are for sale. But what if you're like, but my friend is having a party over in, Globbledale, and I can't get to Globbledale because they're all sold out. Well, you have this wonderful set of things. I love the way it's laid out here. Man, Isengard is nice. In the Breeland office, it's way more hodgepodge and overwhelming. But here, this is fantastic. So they created, and I love this solution, they created these books that basically now, if I click on, let's say, Belfast Homesteads, it's going to show me all the neighborhoods on this server. So now I'm like, okay, cool. My friends are having a party over here in Telegarth, and there's no houses available for sale in Telegarth, so I can't use the broker as a shortcut to get to that neighborhood. But it's like, but I can come to this book and I can say, send me to Telegarth, and I can say enter, and it will ship me off to Telegarth, and then I can go run over to my friend's house. So that is a wonderful little shortcut, and it makes me very happy. I'm really glad with that thing they came up with. Okay, so just to kind of like give a little recap of the order of things, the first premium housing to come out was the Cape of Belfast. So you would talk to Nothwen here. You can also find her at the Boar Fountain in Bree. I'm guessing at some point she might disappear from there, but she's still there for now. And then there's also a broker's office in Bree, and you can find her there also. And of course, here on testing days. Okay, so Cape Belfast was the first one. We'll take a look at that here in a quick sec. And then came Rohan, and I guess they were like so excited and had so many ideas that they couldn't contain themselves, so they created two different kinds of homesteads. One that is kind of set in the mountains with like evergreens, and it's hilly, and there's like little bits of snow here and there, and it's very much like a mountainy, thick treed area. It's really pretty. Kind of definitely gives you that evocative feeling of being, in the mountains and the trees. Like I grew up in Colorado, so it definitely feels very comfortable and familiar to me. It is, however, a little bit difficult to navigate because the trees are all in your way and you can't see where you're going. At least that's what happens for me. So then there's another Rohan homestead, and that is more flat and more of the green grassy plains. And it also has its own character and charm. And that's where I actually have a house, over on Mary. And that one, it has like some lakes that you can go to, and there's like fishing, and there's some really cool stuff. Each one of those. So over in the Cape of Belfast, there's let's go talk to her real quick. You have a couple. There's 4 different options, but really only 2. So you have the stately house, which is the smaller house, but they're ridiculously huge. You have the luxurious house, which is huge. And then there are 2 different kinds of kinship houses. There's the deluxe kinship house, and then there's the island kinship house. Both of them are insane, and they're huge, and they're amazing. The one criticism, if you like, of Belfast housing is that it is very like marble and austere, and like high ceilings and tall, walls, and so it can feel a bit cold and full and marble like. So I mean, that's the one criticism you get of Belfast, really. But I mean, I think they have a lot of charm, and so I always end up getting a Belfast house. I always like it. So I think these are probably the cheapest that you can get, because the stately houses you can get for 145 mithril, which is pretty good, or 29 homesteading coins. So, and those are the smallest ones. Here, let's just pop in there real quick. I'll just show you real quick. I have like a multi-hour video where I tour a bunch of the different housing, but let's see if I can do this in less than a couple hours. I mean, less than a couple hours more. We've already been here together for 2 hours. So anyways, you get a yard. I mean, all of them have big, spacious yards. That's not what you have to worry about. What you do get is this inside. Here, let me go through it. Start this over again. So you come in the door here, and you've got a couple options. You can go around that way, which just makes a circle around that set of stairs. You can go, I think this is why I was expecting the elven stairs to be open, because I was thinking of like this kind of architecture. And the same thing, you can go around a circle around those stairs. You can also go up the stairs, and that takes you to this kind of like a little balcony space. Let me walk over here. So you have kind of like a space here for bed, couches, I don't know, whatever you want to do. And then you can look down there, or you can walk across and you have the mirror image over here. So like, let me kind of go to the middle. So you have like the mirror image over here of that space that's over there. And then, so then you have the two staircases that lead you there, and it's like open here in the middle. And then if you go forward, you end up in this room here, and you've got a room off to the side that's a square, a box, and another room off to the other side. So it's very symmetrical, very balanced. And then if you keep going, you've got a room back here where it's got like a little alcove there, cute place to put plants and stuff. Another alcove there, and then the starry ceiling. And this, I think, is one of the other criticisms that people have, is that the starry ceiling doesn't always lend itself to the kind of decorating feeling that you might be trying to do in a Belfalas house. And so I'm really excited about this whole ceiling thing, because if it ports back to Belfalas, I think there'll be an uptick in people buying the Belfalas houses, to be honest. What I did with mine, I did go ahead and buy the small one this time. And so I've gone ahead and I've put like a wall across here. So you can't go that way if you're a visitor. And there's a whole lot of stuff here in the middle, so it feels very lush and very cozy. And then in here, I've put a bunch of like Gammer's best furniture and like a teapot on a table and all that sort of stuff. On this side, I've put a whole bunch of shelving with food and crates with food and all that sort of stuff. So you can really make these feel a lot more cozy, the small houses. So that's kind of like your starter house, if you like. That's probably the cheapest house you can get in all of the premium housing that's available. The flapping poon animal says they look like tombs, always have, always will. As you can see, some people have their criticisms. Okay, so this is the big one, the luxurious house. So again, you have a yard, although the yard is a little bit bigger, and they're all slightly different. Like that one has like a side yard over here, side yard over here. It's just, you know, how the yard is laid out. Oh, I don't have permission. Oh, I don't actually think I gave permission on both of my houses. Let me fix that real quick before I forget. Oh, it doesn't. No, I don't have it right there. Okay. Let's see if we can find one that's open. I mean, basically, it's a very similar layout. It's just bigger and there's more rooms. But then, let me see. Oh, here's this one for sale. This one? Okay, cool. I'll show you. It's got a green space inside, which is wild. Okay, so again, you got a big, big yard, lots of hooks. And then let's go inside. So this one is the deluxe version. So you come in and you've got this massive room, which includes half a room there, half a room here. Isn't there supposed to be stairs? And then you come over to here and you've got, oh, I came in sideways? What? Something's weird. This is the back of the house. Something went weird. Anyway, you've got the little alcoves. Okay, something's really weird because there's supposed to be a room there and a room there. What? Am I in the kin house? Oh, I'm in the kin house. Oh my gosh. My bad. This is the kin house and it has 2 green spaces. I haven't been in a Belfast kin house, gosh, a long time. My very first kinship that I joined had one. And it's been since then. Okay, hang on. I need to find a way. How do we get out of here again? I get so lost in the Belfast Kin Houses. I think I'm on my way to the door. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we don't want to be in a kin house, but they're huge. That's the kin house, and boy, is that big. And not what I wanted to show you. But, well, you saw the little grassy area, and actually that's all I wanted to show you. That there's one of those grassy areas in the deluxe house as well, which is just wild to me. But, so, okay, so that's, hang on. So, the Cape of Belfast, the homesteads. The center of town is actually over here. So a lot of people really love getting these houses that are right here because then you can just go straight down the hill to get to the stable master or any of the other things. The house that I bought over on Mary is, I think it's this one over here, way down at the bottom tip. But I like that because I do have access to that. But also I've got this gorgeous view of the bay here, and I love that. And so I've set my house up to be able to do outdoor garden parties, basically. And so it's really nice. So I really like the Cape of Belfast, even though it may look kind of austere, or mausoleum-like. But I have found that if there's, gosh, now I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's some decorating wallpaper and wall colors that work really well together to create a more cozy, warm feeling in those houses, and then they work great. So I've found that I can really do some stuff in there. So you've got 2 kin houses on the land, and then you've got a kin house that has a whole island to itself, and then another kin house that has a whole island to itself. Interior wise, the 4 kin houses are all identical. It's just that these are on an island. You don't get any additional decorating space per se. It's the same number of hooks and everything. It's just you have an island, and those are, kind of special. They're really cool, so people want those. But yeah, you can get one of these small houses for, as we saw, pretty cheap, which is quite nice. Let's go back to the Isengard and take a look at, you can see the water out there, although it's kind of rainy right now, but you can see how it's so pretty. And you can watch the boats floating by, and the music in Belfast is really beautiful. So definitely worth spending some time checking that out. But maybe you find that like Rohan is more your style, and you've got some beautiful choices there. So if we look at,
How may I help you today?
So they did something different with Rohan. People weren't looking for a kin house, but the housing community had basically said, hey, we would love to have houses that are like huge, like a kin house, but aren't actually a kin house. Like, I want to own one as a character. So that inspired them to do a thing where you could buy what's called a mead hall. Oh, hang on, let me do a search for just the mead halls. Okay, so let's go here. So, of course, the Rohan houses, they have a very, woody, wooden exterior kind of styling to them. There's the 2 different kinds of housing so this one, you have those stable spots you can decorate with a horse. And then you get, the house comes with a basement. The other Rohan houses don't have a basement, but they come with like an outbuilding, like a garage almost. But one of the cool things from here is you can see, well, not when it's raining so well, but there we go. We're looking at Edoras there. So I'm here. Yeah. And you can see I am looking right across, boom, right there. It's right there. So, that's kind of cool, especially when it's not raining, because you can just see that, and that's pretty neat. So it comes with, the house already comes with like some, very rustic, very, Rohirric decor just to get yourself started. And then, hey, baby. Kato came and laid down next to me here. What I was talking with Scenario earlier about, those of you who might have been here 2 hours ago when he popped in, is that, and I should have just bought this house, but these columns here are actually decoratable. They are a special type of hook called a column, and you can buy different decorating hooks for it. So, or decorating styles. We can pop by the person and show you. But there's like a blue kind of marble looking one. There's like a dark red one. Yeah, so basically what I did when I bought a meat haul when they first came out, and then I bought like one of every kind, and I was just testing them out. They look kind of funny. This center area is actually, there is a hook here, and it's called a fire pit. So there's a handful of different fire pit decoration items that you can also purchase. Some of them look like just rows and rows, like a row of tables, like table, with benches all the way along with them. And you can get that looking as if it's empty, as if, people have already eaten. And there's like little horse heads along the table. You can get one that has plates on it that are, I think, dirty, as if people have already eaten. And then you could get one that's like full of stuff as if they're waiting to have the feast. So, so there's some options there. For this side, let me actually so you've got a side here where it's like a smaller room and then a larger room and then a larger room at the back. And it's identical on both sides, like it's got a parity there. And then down the middle, there's this tall space at the end down there. So, for example, if you go through this doorway, you'll have this kind of narrower style room here that opens up into this larger space here. And then you go through another doorway and you're in a separate room that's just a room unto itself. And you have the identical layout on the opposite side. And then we've got like a space here where you can put a throne or whatever. And you can go up the stairs. And that takes you to this kind of space where you can look down over the front door and you can jump down there and crash your ankles. You can also put rugs down there and then float them up. So then you can jump. Upstairs, you also have this like walkway over to here, which then brings you to the space and you can look down on that space where like you could put a chair or a throne or whatever. So that's the upstairs. Let me show you the downstairs. Okay, so there's stairs here. Bonk. I'm just like throwing myself down the stairs. There's a little outlet, little alcove here, and a little bit of space behind the stairs. Although I do love that there's already a bunch of stuff here. So that kind of helps make it feel, I don't know, like there's more stuff going on in here. And then, okay, 6 rooms. So then there's these 6 rooms, which each of them have like a wall hook, a floor hook, a furniture hook. There's like 4 hooks, and each of them has like separate wall and wall coloring that you can do. So you can do 6 rooms down here that are all individually different from each other. It's really wild, but you don't have a lot of hooks to work with. So, there's that. So it's an interesting space. So that's what the mead hall looks like. And then each of the other houses looks a bit smaller than that. But one of the things they did, with this one also, with Rohan, is is that right, with Rohan? Because, there's one house in the neighborhood that's special. So you've got the large houses, the deluxe houses, you've got the mead hall, and then you've got a special house. And in this neighborhood, because this is the one with all the trees and everything, this neighborhood has one that has a tower, and so it gives you some extra space there to play around with. And then there's also in the other one, you know what, let's just go, can I just go to Lalia's Market? Let's just go to Lalia's Market for a minute. And I'll take you to the broker's office. And you can see how kind of cluttered it is there. Dr. Arfel says, I was hoping for more triangular setup to represent the elves, but seems like an improvement on Falathorn. I think so too, because I have over the years in buying my like personal house debated. See, there's the Cape of Belfast lady. Between, excuse me, hang on a second. I like the kind of sweeping look of the Falathorn homesteads, the elven housing, but I kind of got bored with it. And I really just find that I prefer being in the Shire. It's just the coziness of the Shire. I just like it. So I've kind of fallen out of love with Falathorn. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I just don't buy there anymore. So anyway, so you're traveling through Bree, and there's the mayor's office where you have to go do a quest once in a while. Across over here is this broker's office. So you go in here and you find everybody is standing around in here. And remember those ledgers I was talking to you about where like you can find all of the neighborhoods listed that are on that server? The ledger is next to the person. But see, like there's this extra room here. I feel like you could just build this room out more and either create like separate rooms or just make it a bigger room and spread these guys out a little bit more because I mean I have a hard time finding what I'm looking for when I'm in here. It's so claustrophobic feeling in here. But okay, so if we're talking like our 4 originals, I can't even zoom out. I can't even get above it. There's the one guy there, one there, and Breeland is over there. So they're like not even next to each other. They're kind of far spread out with like Erebor in the middle. You've got Lindleby over here now. Anyway, so the other Rohan, let's look at... Actually, we could... Yeah, let's go look for the cave house. Show me a cave. Yeah, let's just go tour that house. So the other one, the more the plains, has each of these houses, each of the houses by default has like the main house, and then they also have like a barn, and the barn has some decoration hooks inside it as well. Whereas remember the other house side, we didn't have that. Also, you'll notice that like all these, I can ride across here a little bit more easily and see everything. This one has a more, oh, I forgot to show you that, but this one has a kind of a circular look to it where like your mead hall is here and it's up a little bit, and then everything else is down lower. You've got this great little lake for fishing. I've often taken Mare Street, that house at the end there, because it's lovely. I currently have the house over here because I like the idea of looking over this lake this time. So it's really easy to ride around here and go to people's houses and stuff. The inside, so this is what most of your Rohan houses are going to look like. It has like a main room here, a main room here. You've got like a little bit of a basement over here, just like a partial basement, whereas the one in the mountains, the basement goes all the way through. And then we do have stairs going up. And so you've got this space here, whereas the other side has, I think, another set of stairs going, and you can go even further up. But I want to show you the cave. So this is the special house, though. So it has the basic footprint, but then it has like an extra something, which in this case is a little cave. So if you go around back behind the house and down towards the water, must be over here. Yeah, here it is, by these rocks. Oh, yeah, there's an opening here. So then you follow this down, and there's a door. So this is an additional decorating area that you have if you own this house. So this is fun. There's like a light hook. You can make it a little bit more cozy. I don't think there's any wall decorating though going on in here. But yeah, it's just a fun little space that you have with a handful of decorating hooks down there. So those are the two Rohan ones. So if you find that you're like, the Rohan aesthetic really works for you, like this can be a great place. And also what I did with mine is I've decided that it's the place where all of my winter decorations live. So all of my Yule decor is at my Rohan house. And then I also got a Yule like theme for the environment. So it's this house is the house that I have over on the server. And so by the time you get here, it's snowing and, you know, gray and whites and all that. And then I've got like a whole bunch of Yule themed decorations out. I've got all Yule style horses out here. Behind the house, there's this path that goes up this particular house. Each house has a slightly different landscape. And so there's some housing hooks here. So I've put like the snowball fight place here. And then there's like a hook or two over here. So I've put like a big elven wintry tent thing. And so you can, you know, definitely make a house feel like it has a theme to it. All right, let's go back to the Isengard. Okay, so first came Belfalas in the premium housings, and then came these two Rohan neighborhoods that we were just wandering around. And those two came out at the same time. And you can actually get to them like on the landscape. They're like in the middle, which people have definite opinions about at times. I don't mind it. I think it's actually kind of cool, but some people do not have that opinion of it. You know what? If we all had the same thoughts and opinions, what a boring place this would be. All right, so then we have, okay, so we've talked to Cape of Belfalas, and then we've seen the two Rohans. We've gone to both of their places. So the next one to come out was Erebor housing. So if you're into Dwarven, this is the place for you. I will tell you, I get lost here every single time. But man, if you love The Wizard of Oz, everything is green. And it's this green marble. I mean, it's very pretty. Actually, what kind of house is this? Let's find out real quick. I can't remember. This is a stately house, which I believe is the smaller of them, maybe? I'm not sure. But we've got like some water on each side. There's one house. Is this the one? This might be the special one. Hang on a second. There's one house, and I think it's this one, that has, yeah, it's this one. Not all of them have all of this. This is a special house in this neighborhood. But the inside is the same. There's a lot going on here. There's multiple balconies, and like these houses boggle my mind. I can't interact with these houses because they don't make sense to me. But they are beautiful. I love the green marble. And I was going to show you so one of the, it's like marble is one of the options for the pillars at the mead house, stuff like that. But you can't color it, I don't think. It's just whatever they have available. Anyway, so this is, yeah, it's got house, it's got like rooms on both sides. So like if you're talking about the layout, it's a familiar layout in some ways, but in other ways it's just like, wait, and then you do what? And then wait, what? So there's a staircase over here. It's very stone, very angular. And, you know, it's Dwarven. I mean, they really capture the Dwarven essence here, right? So here... Oh, it's a hidden cave thing. Yeah, this is the special house, and that's even throwing me off. Even more than normal. But I think... I know there's... Oh, well, we're just going to fall right down. There's something to do with balconies, and so maybe that's in the Kin house. Oh my gosh, I'm so lost in this house. It's like I left my house and came back in. Oh, I didn't buy this one. There we go. There's the exit. So anyway, the neighborhood here is very like straightforward. Yeah, let me get us. Yeah, see, we're in this special house down here in the corner. So that might not have been the best one to show you as representative, but it is very beautiful. Now we get out some green grass. The Ironfoot Gardens, as it were. So this neighborhood has levels. So like we're on this level, and then I don't even know. Yeah, this it gets so lost. There's an elevator here even, which you would think would help, but I still get lost. Let me see if I can find the elevator. I mean, look at this. I'm like going up. It's insane. And okay, so hold on. So like the houses are along the sides here. And then at the end, I think it's this end, is where the kin house is. And then on one end, there's an elevator. I may have found it. There's also a chessboard. So, like, you could host a, like, you know, live game of chess somewhere out here. Oh, I can't remember what it is. That's another house. Oh, am I going the wrong way? Well, I am if I want to see the chessboard. Also, down in the center is a river, but it is a river of gold. So you can swim around in the river of gold. I will pop down there in a minute and I will do that. It's wild. All right, let's see if this is where the elevator is, or the chessboard, or both. I would take either or both. There we go. So, Court of Games. So I love that they like put this in with the idea that people might use it. I mean, and the squares are huge. So like your character could easily just be in their square without like being in the wrong square by mistake. Like it's a thing. But I have not yet participated in anything like that in these homes. Okay, here we go. Here's the elevator. So there's Causeway, Overlook, Lower Causeway. I don't know. What's the how far can I go down? Okay. Now I'm at the Wormhorde Bridge. Sure. Tell you what, let's just go get in the water. All right, there we go. Now we can swim around in the river of gold. Because why would you not want to do that? Because that's the only thing I've done here that I'm like, yes, I would like to do this and do this again. Because that's just fun. And you can fish. You can fish here too. It's kind of wild. Anyway, so that's Erebor Homesteads. And there's a lot of cool houses. DuckTales. I know, right? There is a bit of that, like, Scrooge McDuck kind of Yahoo! So I have definitely spent time hanging out here and fishing and swimming in the River of Gold because if nothing else, I can find my way down and fall down into the river, even if I can never find my house. So, or find a house that I may be looking for. It is, I'm sorry, scenario. I love this place, but I get so lost in Erebor, and I cannot get my head just does not work. My head doesn't work in 3D, I think is what it is. Like, I just don't have that. I like flat places. Okay, so, all right, so now we've seen, we saw Belfalas, Cape of Belfalas, did the Rohan, and then we saw Erebor. So the next one to come around, and the last one we've had up until Rivendell, is Lindleby Housing, and this is probably one of my favorites. I mean, I just love it. I love it. I love my Lindleby house, or houses, I should say. So these are all more in the style of Hobbit houses. So here we've got a wide range of stuff. So we went back to, hey, there's a kinship house in the neighborhood. Just like with Erebor, they went back to putting a kinship house in the neighborhood. But again, remember, kinships can only own one house. So we're still having to choose between, do we keep our kinship house in, for example, the Shire, as it is with my kin, my primary one, or, do we move and get an island in Belfalas, or, an Erebor thing, or a giant house in Lindleby. And for the most part, people seem to be currently staying with their Shire, their Bree, whatever, kinship house. But maybe that'll change in the future. So then what they did is basically broke it into two kinds of things. So you've got the small house, the small smile, and then you've got a stately version. and then you've got a deluxe smile, and then you've got a stately deluxe version. So each one of them has some stuff going on. I'm just going to take us to a deluxe. Oh, you know, I should take you to my favorite one. Oh, it's not available. I'll just go to this one. My favorite is One Wellforth Way because it's right by the center of town. So I do love that one. Scenario says regarding multiple kinship houses, investigations into enabling multiples is actively being done. That's very exciting, you know that. Because yes, we would love to have multiple kin houses. And yes. Thank you. We're all very excited. And a huge roar of cheers goes up. Yay! So, okay, so let's check these out. So this is what I would save my money for because I love these. Oh, I didn't look to see what the cheapest one was yet. I'm sorry, I forgot to do that for you. I will go back. But these have 2 doors, usually. So did the Rohan houses as well. Sometimes they were like 2 next, on the same side of the house. And sometimes they're one on one side and one on a opposing side. But these I love. Okay, so this is the house. I have a bunch of these. So you've got a room on the side, and this is often where I put a fireplace, and then I do that crackling firelight thing here. And then over on this side is another room, but because it's a little bit bigger, I've often put Adamantia's scholarly, working on stuff there. Okay, so if we go back to the front door again, if we go forward, there's this huge hall, which has taken me a bit of time to figure out how to use it, but I think I finally cracked it. So what I've been doing is in this first part of it, I've put tables with food, and I've got, in this alcove, I've got a bunch of barrels. So it's definitely like a food, socializing, entertaining kind of space. What's kind of interesting here is that from a floor decorating perspective, this is one surface, and then that side and this side are one surface. So you've got 2 surfaces in here to work with. It's really interesting. So sometimes I just make them the same. Sometimes I'll do one thing in the center and something else on the sides. So yeah, there's some interesting choices to be made here. And then what I've done over in this area is I've kind of like created another sitting area with a lot of the Gamorous furniture and a cozy rug and a whole bunch of stuff sitting over there. In order to make that work, I've had to steal hooks from a lot of other places, but I think it works. The biggest problem I have is that, remember that fire pit hook from Rohan? There's one of those here, and it runs right down the center of here. Unfortunately, none of those fire pit decorating items really work in the Hobbit space for me. So I've abandoned using those, and I just use it like a regular hook. The problem is, and I think Scenario is working on changing this at some point, is the hook, when you click on it, it runs the entire space. But remember how we were, and I don't have any open right now, but because I didn't buy this house, but you know how we were looking at it, and it was like a housing hook was like a square, another square, a square, a square. And so there were small squares and there were bigger squares. Which makes it easy to click on them because they're not overlapping in the slightest. But the fire pit hook is basically the length and breadth of this space. So if I'm trying to click on maybe something I have attached to another hook, but I've dragged it over into there, sometimes I'm clicking on the item and I end up clicking on the fire pit hook, or I'm trying to click on the ceiling light or something else, and so that's the biggest problem I have found here, and it does lend to some frustration. But if you can find yourself able to work around that, then this space is a lot of fun to decorate. So then here's a funny thing, is you can go down this ramp here, and now we have, again, a series of little rooms off to the side that you can decorate. There's 3 of those. So those are usually where I steal the hooks from in order to build my space upstairs. But I found that I really enjoy creating this space into like a little bedroom. And so I'll put a wall here. And so then you come in and you go around the corner, and then this is like a bedroom space. So that's been a lot of fun. And there's, of course, lots of different, every wall is there's a lot of decorating you can do down here with walls and colors and stuff. So in this part of the space, what I'm adapting to is maybe, because there's another ramp that takes you back up, so now I'm back on that main floor. So this is door number 2 over here, but then you've also got this intermediate space here, which then takes you back into the room that was there, which is right by the front door. So you can see how you can kind of run through here. So I've been using this as Adamantius space, but I'm working on transitioning it to this and this being Adamantius space, because I used to have all my Yule decorations in here, but now that I have a whole Yule house, I'm changing things around. I haven't got it quite set yet. I'm still fiddling around with it. But this is what you get for like Lindleby housing. Oh, and one of the Lindleby houses has a special feature where you would come through here and you go through and it takes you to like this little not outdoor, but underground like cavern, and there's water and it's really cool. So that's a lot of fun to play with. And I've seen people who get that house and put a wall here, which basically, in a sense, creates 2 separate houses, because you have your one door here and it leads down to that space, and you could put a wall across, here or across there, whatever. And then you have the other side, which goes the other way, which is, I thought, a really clever idea. Okay, so let's see. Green Tia says, would it make sense to allow to purchase the kinship house to any character, even without a kinship, if they wanted to have a larger house? Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think there is code behind the scenes, is my guess, because any old character can't just walk up and buy a kin house. So my guess is that would be technically very difficult to accomplish, which is and maybe one of the reasons why they went with the mead halls for Rohan. So I just want to show you some of the outside of Lindleby. Again, like I said, I did like a multi-hour tour of all these different places, so I'm going to try not to go another 4 hours talking about housing. Not that I couldn't, I absolutely could. But this is the Lindleby Homesteads area. And so, oh yeah, Floodside Road. Let me pop down there real quick and I'll show you guys what I was talking about when I mentioned earlier that there is a pair of houses that make me very happy because it's very neighborly. So if you come down here, and this is Floodside Road. Let me see, I think is it this way or is it that way? Wait, I think I might have gone the wrong. No, that's the way to get out of town. So if you go that way, you keep going and you could end up out in Lindleby itself. Wait. Oh, maybe I just passed it then. So it would be... No, it must be 1 and 2 then, because I think... Or maybe there's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 is further up. Scenario says a lot of hook types got rescaled with update 48, mostly exterior, but I believe I hit the fire pit as well. Oh, you are like many blessings upon you and your families, because that would make me super happy. That's like the only frustration I have in Lindleby, honestly. I love Lindleby so much. Now, Tripfayana says there's nothing stopping someone, and there are folks on Peregrine using this, of having multiple characters and or accounts with their own kinships and thus kinship houses, then enabling permissions for all their characters to interchange decos, etc. Yeah, that's of course very true. You can, create a character, have a character, whatever, have them become a kinship leader, so they're in a kinship of their own, and then they go buy a kin house. It just means that none of your other characters could use like the travel to kinship house skill, or if like, in this case, like I have a character who is in an established kinship and I like all the benefits that come with being in that kinship. So I'm not going to take this character out of there just to go buy a kin house or anything like that. I have other characters that have that, but it doesn't give me an additional travel skill because I already have a kinship house travel skill. So that's like one of the bigger things for me. I just would love it if our Hobbit kinship could have both a Shire kin house and a Lindleby kin house. That would be pretty neat. Hi, Casper is up and about. So these 2 houses I think are fantastic. So we've got 3 Floodside Road, which is one of the smaller ones. But the yard is great. I decorated the heck out of this yard when I had it. And then you've got straight across from that is 4 Floodside Road, which is also one of the small ones, but absolutely worth it because being able to like pop into your house and then just like wave at your neighbor if you have an active kinship across the street, this makes me so happy. So this is what I was talking about scenario earlier, and I don't know if you were here, but I would love it if like a neighborhood had the houses closer together and the yards could be maybe the piece that faces away or is further. I just love the coziness and the gezelligheid, really. Just, you know, the being able to, in an active kinship or active group of people in a neighborhood, to see each other. And like when you're at your house and fussing about in your yard or whatever, that you happen to see other people that you know and you stop. And we literally would stop and have chats in the street here when we would see each other. So now with the transfers and stuff, we didn't get the same houses and it's all different. But it was lovely and I really loved being able to do that. Skagosi says, Casper! Yes, he's being cute. They're both being super cute. They're so happy we're home. So yeah, so anyway, so this is what the Lindleby Homesteads looks like. So it's basically all of this center area. So there's, is there anything behind my head? I don't think so. So this one over here, right above me here, that's where the Kinship House is. And it's like multiple levels. It reminds me of the, like the Tookland or the Buckland kind of stuff going on where it's like the multiple and all the windows and everything. Then you've got, so each one of these dead ends of a road there's a house there. And then there's one house that's way over here. That's one of the special ones. And then there's one that's way over here. And that's also one of the special ones. So I tend not to buy them because they're so far away. I just don't, yeah, I like to be in the middle of things. So I actually have a house on Broadmead Lane now, and I just like fall down into my neighbor's yards when I'm trying to get to the center of town. The center of town here is also really nice. I like this one a lot. So you go over this bridge and around the corner, and this is an active farm. Like you can, this is a farmland. You've got a workbench there. You've got a study here. Oh, I forgot to show you guys this, but they do have that in the Rohan. And they have this in all the neighborhoods now, but I just love how this one is so, everything, I don't know. The layout of this just makes me happy. You've got your window there. You've got your home furnishing. I think, do you know what? I don't think you can buy the column decorations from here. I think you can only get them from like Berginda and Salaflad, the people from the Rohan, because there's no columns here. Each one of these has some overlapping things like the wall paints and the floor paints, but then they also have some things that are unique to just them, like honeycomb, Hobbit stable with 3 stalls, double Hobbit lanterns. So things that are very evocative for the neighborhood that you're in. I think that's really nice. Yeah, I don't think the columns are here. Now, because this is the first one where we had fences, there's a lot of fence options here. But also keep an eye out on the festivals, because the festivals are starting to get kind of dotted in with more fence hooks as well. And there's some cute ones you can get at those. Okay, I'm not seeing, yeah, I don't think they're here. That's fine. Okay, so that, oh, let me show you my favorite location though, is up this hill right here. And boom, One Whale Fourth Way. That's my favorite one because it is the larger house. So it's got the 2 doors and everything, but also, and the yard is fantastic. The yard layout is great. Everything is like out here. Like I have a new house. I forget which one it is, but like some of the housing decoration is like kind of around the side. And I'm still not sure what I'm doing. But I also love that like there's a little river that runs right along here. That makes me happy. But also because basically you can arrive at your house with the travel skill and you're like right about here or whatever, and then you just turn around and ride down the hill and then you're at the center of town, which is also fantastic. That makes me very happy. I think living in Europe, I just have this very different feeling of like what I look for in my little village, and what it is like a center of town that is inviting and easy to get to, and also everybody's houses kind of like you see your neighbors. I like that too. So, okay, so let's go back to the Isengard one more time. So we've seen the 4 originals we talked about, though, at least. And then we saw Belfalas, and then we saw the 2 Rohans. We went to Erebor, and now we've seen Lindleby, and then that takes us to Rivendell. So if you're curious about pricing, we can see the ones that exist. I don't know that Rivendell pricing has been set, but you can kind of get a gist of it, by just kind of being like, okay, yeah, it's probably about that. So yeah, if you are like just getting into the housing market and you're not sure what you want, but you definitely want a premium house. Now, if you buy a premium house and then later sell it, you get back 90% of what you purchased it for. So like if you buy one of these less expensive ones for $145, that's the smaller houses over in the Cape of Belfalas, and they are $145 mithril or 29 homesteading coins. And so if you bought it for that and then later on you sold it, you would get 90% of that back. You'd get, so whatever 90% of 29 is, like 27 or so. So you'd lose, a little bit just from buying and selling. So just keep that in mind. Then from there, you're looking, oh no, I think 137, that's the least expensive one. Also, all of this is on the Lotra wiki, so you don't actually have to go to a housing broker and be like, I don't know, and click and click and click, click, click. Like you can, because it's fun to hang out in the game. But you can look on the Lotra wiki, and the prices are all there too. 26.1 is 90% of 29, so you imagine 26. Okay, so yeah, so you'll get 26 or 27 homesteading coins back, depending on which way they round it. So that's your... Yes, and as Clariel points out, as a reminder, no matter which currency you use to purchase the house, you will get back homesteading coins. So maybe you spend 137 mithril, but then later on you sell it. Well, you're going to get back, that 26 or whatever homesteading coins. So okay, so that's probably the cheapest. But then it jumps up to like 450-ish, 500-ish. Well, that was 422. 240. So I think Belfast may be the least expensive, but let's see what do these look like. Well, these are mostly gone. Here's one where I can give a little bit of variety. Yeah, so Rohan didn't have anything like super cheap. 450. 422. That's actually a cute house. All the houses in the Rohan ones each house has like a different character to it. It's really fascinating. If you buy a Rohan house, I would say definitely ride around and see which house really speaks to you, because there's it's such a variety, and I don't know. I love it though, because they've somehow managed to give each property a different feeling, and it's really cool. Here we're talking like 450, 422, but then it goes up to like 500, 550, and so forth. So, of mithril coins. Erebor, I think, has a similar kind of range. How may I be of assistance? Oh, they got some 300s. They went back down a little bit. 500, 300. Wow, those are super round numbers. That's nice. I don't think they're round for Lindleby, are they? Let's see. No, they're not round. Oh, you can get like Floodside Road for like 213, which is interesting. 400 or 43? Yeah, okay. Still, that's not bad. And then it's up into like 300, 500. So, just to kind of give you an idea of how many mithril coins you might be looking for. So, Scenario says also on Bullroarer that Rohan houses now have fence hooks and Belfalas houses now have light hooks. I did wonder, the Belfalas house looked different. So, Scenario question then, is that then because it's on Bullroarer, does that mean it will be live in the near future? Let's see, what did these run us when we were looking at those? 200, 300 of the ones that are available. Yes, slated for update 48. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, that's very cool. Okay, so that means I've got to find a good fence for my Rohan house. And I need to remember to go to my Belfalas house and put in some lighting. Okay. Oh, that's very cool. Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to do one more thing. So, okay. So I hope that answers all the questions for, I think it was Green Tia. Was that you? That was newer to housing. Hopefully we've kind of given you a quick, brief overview of like what to expect when you're looking at housing and what kinds of like options you have in terms of buying housing and where it might be located. And oh yeah, no, absolutely happy. I like, you may have noticed, but I do love Lotro housing. Huge fan. And so I'm always excited when there's like somebody else who's interested in it. And I don't, yeah, and I want to help you kind of like bridge the gap between what in the world is this and, oh yes, I want one of those. Yeah, green tea. I can hear that enthusiasm. What before says, I'd love a housing neighborhood based on older city designs, a central square with your standard center of neighborhood stuff surrounded by row houses with tiny front yards and longer backyards. Yes. I know before, and I often have similar thoughts. If the center square is 1 unit by 1 unit, then the whole neighborhood would be about 3 or 4 units by 3 or 4 units. That would be, I would love the coziness and the seeing your neighbor aspect of that. That would be really cool. Oh, Triftiana says, I appreciate the drive-through of the various neighborhoods. I hadn't really explored any premium housing areas after Belfast. Well, you're welcome. So it was really funny. So the very first kinship I was in had one of those island kin houses. And the kin leader was like, yeah, feel free to go and decorate and, check it out and all that. And I'm like, I do not understand what you're, like, what does this mean? Like, you say a house, and I'm thinking, okay, a house, like, living room, kitchen, bedrooms, bathrooms. So I'm like, how does this scale? Like, for every new kin person, does a bedroom pop into existence? Do you share bedrooms? Like, how does this work? So that was a bit of a learning curve for me to be like, no, that's not it at all. The way I think of it is, remember when you were a kid, a lot of us did school projects, you'd have to do a diorama where you would have like a shoebox and you were, instructed to create some sort of a picture or whatever. You had to create something in that shoebox, and that's how you created, like, oh, this is a house with here's a chair and here's a this and here's a that and whatnot. So that's kind of what it reminds me of. We're being given a shoebox that already has some pre-established, like, pieces of cardboard lines that have been put in there to make some walls and some staircases. But it's basically an empty shoebox. And what you do with it is up to you. And then there's like, there's this toy bin with all these things that you can sort through and be like, oh, I want one of these stairs, and oh, look at this color, and oh, I'd like to put some of this here. And then you gather these things and then you put them in your little shoebox. That's really more what Lotro housing is in my mind. And that seems to work out pretty good. And then then you go down the rabbit hole of being like, oh, I saw this really cool thing, and where do I get that? Oh, I have to go do this quest. Well, I guess I'm going to go do that quest now because I really want this housing thing. And it turns into a whole thing. Okay, so now that we've pretty much covered all of that I wanted to cover, I'm going to do something completely different. I've been curious about this. So this is, if I understand correctly, like a test space that Scenario has been playing with that I have yet to see. I saw this on stream one time and I was like, I have to go check this out sometime. Okay, so how does this work? Test estate 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Well, what happens if I just walk forward? Does it throw me into one of them? Maybe not. Maybe I have to choose one. Okay, I'll choose one. I love the boat, by the way. That's fun. All right, let's go to 1. Okay, I'm there. So I think what's being tested here is like a space that looks identical, and then you would just, like basically an apartment, right? So you like hit the, button and be like, I would like to go to apartment 4B, and then there you are. So you could have instances of single house, not neighborhoods, yeah? Oh, I don't have permission to use that. Okay. What about that? This object does nothing. Oh, I have to leave if I want to go. Test estate is where I prototype features. Okay, says Scenario. Yeah. So I've been just curious because I know you were showing it on stream one time, and I was like, well, let me see what you're doing here. There's a lot of creepy trophies there. How could there be a for sale sign when there's stuff in the yard? A test removable dyeable walls. I'm excited about that. So each one of these you're testing something different? Okay. Anyway. All right. I'll be here all day if I keep playing around with this stuff, she says, going into the next one. All right. Well, just a reminder that B4 is not streaming today. This is a test. But I'm distracted by houses. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop. So if you have any other questions, go ahead and pop it into the chat because I think I'm going to wrap it up here in just a few minutes. And the sun has gone down. So there we go. It's about good timing, I suppose. So what happens if I get back on the boat? Do I go back to the Isengard or is this like a one-way trip? Where am I in the world? Woo! Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. I'm in Middle Earth. Perhaps I should port myself back to maybe my house. Oh, you can't see it, but I'm talking to a monkey. He's underwater. Okay, anyway. Let's see, what do we got coming up? So, oh, I just took myself back to the Shire. It's not where I thought I was going. I thought I was going to the premium house. Which, you know what? I want to go back to a premium house. So, we're going to change our minds here. Because I want to see if I want to go hang out at the No, Rivendell. I want to go hang out in Rivendell for a minute. By the way, I just love these little emotes that we get for teleporting and stuff. These are pretty. This is going to be cool. I'm excited. I don't have my thing there, but I have Lotro pad on my, as a plugin. But let's see. Nope, I don't have it there. Sometimes I put the schedule in my biography just as a way to keep track of it. So let's just go look at Lotro schedule and see what's coming up soon. So we just finished the Spring Festival. Unfortunately, I missed the end of it, but I did stock up on stuff before it ended. So yay for that. So this is April 7. Bum, 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 bum. Hobnanigans just finished. Oh, Buried Treasure event is going on right now. Rowan Raspberry is around for a few more weeks, so if you want to buy anything from her, now's a good time to do it. Looks like we got a Forester crafting event coming up in a week or so. And then the anniversary event, though, this is the exciting thing. So that's in about 2.5 weeks. So the next 2 weeks, I'll just be finding things to do during my stream. Maybe we'll be doing some adventuring, or I don't know. We'll come up with something. And then we'll be in the Anniversary Fest. So once we are in Anniversary Festival, I'll just be doing streams about Anniversary Festival, because those are probably, well, as I said, those are the two, nope, maybe three, nope, four, no, yeah. So my favorite things about Lotro are housing and festivals and cosmetics. So those are my big loves of the game. So when festival is on, then we're going to be doing festival. So definitely come along if you're new to the festivals, or if you want to check out the new festival area, because of course we will definitely do that on stream. And if you just want to, like, kind of maybe a refresh on how to get around at the festival, or, you know, what's new, because I always go and take a look at what's new, and we're going to look at the cosmetics, because of course we have to, and see how well they dye up, all of those things. So yeah, so Anniversary Festival coming up in just a few weeks, so that will be a lot of fun. So remember to come back for that. So there was a question from Clariel. So does anyone know if Rivendell neighborhood names on Bullroarer generally match the ones that will be in launch? Before said, if I recall correctly from previous housing, because we spent, for example, before and I spent a lot of time looking at the Rohan housing when it came up. He says the ones on Bullroarer tend to be a subset of what gets released. A lot of the names that look like English words end up getting translated to French and German too, and that takes time. So Scenario says, yes, we have a big list of names for Rivendell neighborhoods. They are not all available at once and will roll out over time. So yeah, so Calerio, what they've done in the past, and this is what Scenario is indicating also, is that, yeah, they'll release a certain number of housing neighborhoods on each server, and then as they fill up, and they'll have certain metrics, like maybe it's once all of this particular house is sold, or once a certain percentage. I mean, like they kind of have some things in mind. Then they start releasing, they'll release more neighborhoods. So, which is always fun if you're trying to update the wiki, because like you're typing in and you're like, you think you have it all, and then you go back, you know, especially on like the big day when everything is kicking off, and then you're like, got it all, and then you're like, nope, there's more. But luckily now B4 knows where to find that information a lot faster. So now the wiki is updated for the existing neighborhoods with all the neighborhood names in English, French, and German, and then the Russian names if we have those as well. So that's mostly kept up to date at this point, although it'll be definitely a rush, a land rush, when the Rivendell housing opens up. So yeah, so they don't plop all of them out all at once. They will often release a bunch and then trickle in more and more as they're needed. And you know, like some servers will have a ton, like the roleplay servers, I expect we will buy a lot of these houses. The other like regular servers may not buy as many. It's hard to say. And I don't know what the legendary servers, what the vibe is there. I haven't been playing on them right lately, actually. I've been kind of hanging out in my RP servers of late, and not over on the others anymore. So, oh yeah. So, for example, Yeah, before it says I'd forgotten the detail I'd added to, for instance, the Eastfold Hills Homesteads wiki page. So the following 250 neighborhoods can be available as of July 2025. And sometimes you'll find like more neighborhoods on some servers than others just because people have purchased a lot on one server and less on other servers. And that, it's just how it goes. But yeah, they have a list of names. They've got all sorts of cool ideas. And I do love how they always have names that seem to really kind of like fit the theme, the oeuvre of the vibe of the type of homestead you're looking at. So like I'm in Nandobel for Rivendell here. So yeah, I was in a very Bjorning focused kinship, and so we bought houses in Rohan in like Brer Law because it looked like it had the word bear in it, so that was fun. Yes, the goal for putting all the different names on the wiki, as before points out, was to make it easier to find neighborhood events. So if someone says they're at, Sorstans, we know that that's Udburn, which is also, another name in another language. So, because what's happened is, especially with the servers consolidating from the 32 bits, now everybody's on the 64-bit servers, there used to be events on various different servers, and now most of those people who were running events have consolidated to the two role-playing servers. And so what used to be, so we've had a combining of multiple different kind of cultures and styles of running events and attending events and stuff like that. And so it's a lot more multicultural, at least in the circles that I'm running in. And that's been really fascinating. So we have people who are used to writing song lyrics in French, for example, and who are now bringing that to the thing. And so sometimes it's like, hey, I'm hosting an event and it's over in, Source d'Ans. And you're like, what neighborhood is that in English? And they're like, my client is in French. So just to make it easier for us to be able to attend each other's things that are in neighborhoods. The updating the wiki turned out to be a very useful and handy thing. So yeah. All right. Well, I think that is about it for me. Oh, it's been a long time since I've been able to sound out Russian. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, is that Udbren? Udbreni? No, that's an R. R sound. Nope. It's beyond me. So anyway, all right. Thank you all for coming along and joining me today in this fun little jaunt around Rivendell housing on the Bullroarer test server. I had a good time, and it sounds like you guys did too. So thanks for that. And Skagosi says thank you for a lovely stream, and thank you for that. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Have a great week. I'll be back here next Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern server time, which is 5:30 my time now that all that clock fiddling has finished for now. Thanks, Scenario, for popping in for the chat. That was a wonderful surprise. And thanks for providing housing input. Always great to hear things coming directly from the source. All right. Have a fantastic time, everybody. And as I say sometimes, remember to stay connected to that Hobbit side of your heart, which means to take care of yourself and take care of each other. All right? Let's be good to each other. Sounds good. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.